December 2025 and the beginning of January 2026 cannot be forgotten. So here on Fog Football, this is going to be a compilation of the Wilfried Nonce era at Celtic. Welcome back to the channel. It's going to be a long video, so sit back and enjoy this 8-game masterclass. We've got tactics, board discussion, meltdown, not good enough, all that stuff to get into. So let's begin where it all began, in that 2-1 defeat at Hearts.
All we need is Claudio Braga. Claudio Braga. They said that the bubble had burst. Well, it's ironic that we play in a similar colour to West Ham, because today we just blew a new one, a new bubble, and it was Nonce on the sidelines that got blown away with his wee board and his wee tactics that didn't work at Celtic Park as he lost his first game in charge. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Hearts now. There's a bit of daylight at the top of the table. 3-point gap. Mind the gap. That is twice now that Celtic have lost to champions-elect Hearts this season. I'm a wee bit disappointed because I wanted a 4-0 win. We didn't get a 4-0 win in the end. We had to settle for a 2-1 win. But you know what? It was a deserved 2-1 win. And you know, all the doubters, all the people saying that Hearts were going to fumble, for everybody from the people on YouTube to the presenters to the pundits, get it fucking right up you. Nonce's got all these wee pieces on his board where you can take those pieces and shove them up your arse, because Hearts are top and hopefully we stay there.
Here, I mean, I can't believe this guy's rocked up with a whiteboard as manager of Celtic with
magnetic whiteboard with wee blue, red and blue.
Yeah, red and blue on the whiteboard. I mean, it's just on the whiteboard. Yeah. But I mean, honestly, it's one game. Doesn't mean Nonce's going to go on to have an absolute great Celtic career. Doesn't mean he's going to go on to have a bad Celtic career. But when we first heard Ange Postecoglou was coming into Celtic, right, he lost the Hearts. Admittedly, that happened. But there's just something about this guy sitting there with a whiteboard, and he's got his assistant and Gavin Strachan there, and he's trying to relay the message over to Cal McGregor on this whiteboard, and then Cal McGregor has to go onto the pitch and relay. There's a comical element that I think we were expecting with Ange that we might get with this guy.
Ange came in and the guy had aura.
Yes.
Ange came in and you thought, you know, this guy, he talks a good game.
Right.
Nonce's came in and he hasn't impressed me, and he didn't impress me today. Now, I'll be honest, first 20 minutes, I thought Celtic looked alright. Hearts were pinned back, couldn't really get their own half. But after they weathered the storm, around the half an hour mark, I do actually think Hearts were the better team. I think they created the better chances. I think they looked more threatening to score. Even when they had the 1-0 lead, the 2-0 lead, I think Hearts looked more likely to get that third goal. Yeah, in the end it was Celtic that got it. They also got about an extra minute to add it on time as well. But yeah, they couldn't get the equaliser. They didn't deserve the equaliser. And it was a great win for Hearts. And who was it that said? I can't remember. Chris Sutton. He said that Nonce in the second half got McInnes, and he did.
Yeah, no two ways about it. Derek McInnes rocked up today, and the game plan was perfect. Now, people can put a bit of credit to Nonce and say, they started well because of him. And you got to factor in a few things. Celtic are at home, manager's first game, yada, yada, yada. I'm not surprised that Celtic started this game strong. But what I would say is they're not equipped for a 4-3-3. When you've got the likes of Yang and Taniki essentially playing as fullbacks.
I mean, even if they do have the players, though, it's a big change, isn't it? When these big games come up, is it the right thing to drastically change the system so much when you've got Hearts, the league leaders, then you've got Roma in an important European game, then a cup? The more I look, I mean, I did say, is there a case for keeping Martin O'Neill until the new year? Let Nonce stay in America, spend Christmas with his family.
But see, I think the problem is,
and then start. But then you could argue, well,
people are saying that
his first game would have been Rangers, I guess, but. I don't know. I mean, I think that O'Neill was doing what. I mean, why change something that's winning? Why change something that's working? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Martin O'Neill was on a good run, 5 league wins in a row. I'm not sure the timing of this is the right thing.
Yeah, but it shows a lack of confidence in your manager that you're not willing to appoint him because the games are a little bit tough. I mean, you could argue this is a good learning curve for him, losing to Hearts, and it means he can potentially build on it. But here, like we've been saying for weeks, I wanted Martin O'Neill to go as soon as possible, and looking at the evidence today, I'm backed up. I just wish he left sooner. And I wouldn't be surprised if Martin O'Neill's in charge of Celtic at some point later on this season. I genuinely believe that. This guy could go tits up. I'm not writing him off, right? But there's just something, like you said, Ange had order. As much as I didn't really like Rod, he had order, right? This guy doesn't have anything to me. And I said it when he was first linked. It's like, this has to be the weakest set of Old Firm managers combined ever, man. They don't have it.
At any one time?
I'd say so, aye. Now, obviously, there's been some lopsided.
Yeah, but normally when one half of the Old Firm's got a poor manager, the other side's normally doing really well.
Aye.
And that is the reason for a managerial change. You might be right, although I'm thinking, what was 2007? I mean, no, I'm not going to say Lennon wasn't a bad. Was it Lennon and Cassini? Was that the two managers at that time? But Lennon, or was that Rodgers and Cassini?
It was Rodgers.
Yeah, you might be right, like, but yeah,
No, but
what a chance is this, by the way, for a non-Old Firm club to win the league.
See this whiteboard, right? See if Celtic win.
It looks cool. The whiteboard.
The colours are still questionable for Celtic, but it still looks alright. See when you're down 2-0 and this guy is looking at a whiteboard and people have already made the memes, Connect 4, Battleship, etc, etc, etc. It looks bad.
Celtic, it's the same with everything though. It's like when you've got them watching the laptop. Remember the COVID season?
And Martin as well, earlier this season.
Yeah, but Martin as well. But I think the laptop, and who was it? Was it Stratton Jr.? Yeah,
he was playing Connect 4 here as well.
He was getting abused horribly for the laptop, getting the piss ripped at him. You look at Steve McLaren, you know, was it the Wally with the Brawley? Here, see if he was sitting on the sidelines with the Brawley up and England were fucking qualifying for the World Cup, that wouldn't have became a talking point.
Warburton with the bread. You know, not that he had the bread, but it's like, if you win these see Russell Martin dipping into Loch Lomond. See if you're winning, I don't give a fuck what you do. But these things become a problem when you lose.
And it's how many times though did we pan to the sidelines and he was on his little board and
not watching the game. It's just,
and then it showed you Paul Tilsley about the Celtic. I forget his title for the club, but what is he? He's like a director or something. No, it's something to do with transfer. Something to do with that. Yeah, I think he's something to do with the transfers. And I mean, he was falling asleep watching the game. That didn't look good. And then it just shows you nonsense all the time. He's on his board, then he's trying to communicate with McGregor every time the ball went out of play, and it's like, you know, what can he really be trying to get across to McGregor? Because it didn't appear like anything worked.
No, because you're 2-0 down. What you've done has not worked. You're moving stuff about on a whiteboard. I don't see what you could be moving about on the whiteboard that's going to help you actually win this game or do. You need to make subs. It's not like the white. Well, here I looked at the white. Did he change it for a 4-3-3 to a 3-4-3? Sorry. Did he change it on the whiteboard to like a 4-3-3?
Would it not just be easier to explain? Say to Cal McGregor what you want him to... And, you know, Cal McGregor's probably going over there a bit confused, not really. I mean, how many times did he call him over?
Yeah, no, like the shot going from Martin O'Neill and Rodgers to this guy on a whiteboard must be like, what are we doing?
And here, maybe this is common in America. Maybe they've all got whiteboards.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they're all moving their wee magnetic markers around and playing formations and Connect 4, but...
And the colours as well. It just makes it worse.
And when you're losing, it looks shocking. It does. Anyway, guys, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, comment. I think I'll be gifting out some memberships, so make sure you do all that shit, because today is a good day. Today is a very good day. Hearts, like I said, top of the table now by 3 points. Everybody thought that we're going to turn up here on scalp parts, and I've been saying all week Hearts were going to win this game. Now, I'll be honest, I thought we'd win by more. I thought we'd win more comfortably. But I'll take 2-1.
Could have been more. 2-0, had a few chances, but either or, no one's going to give us two shits. If you wanted Celtic to lose this game, you got your wish. Hearts won, so may as well get into it. So yeah, it was 4. It's going down as 3-4-2-1 against a 4 2-3-1. Immediately though, Celtic had a few chances with Maida. Maida's not been himself this season. Yeah, he scored a few crucial goals for Celtic.
I think he'll be gone in a month's time.
He's missing quite a lot of opportunities. Celtic got a lot of corners. Milne runs down the left, whips a great ball into the box. It's cleared by Tierney, but nothing comes through the corner. Really does. I mean, they were putting over the Hearts corners. They were all shite until the second half. Shankland though has to shoot. This is after Engels blazed over. Ball gets played into him. He just doesn't get the ball away if you're under his feet. Shocker, Rooney. But then I don't actually recall who it was, but a Celtic guy tries to make a block, slides out the pitch. Ball then gets headed back into play by Shankland. Braga's onside, but Celtic think he's offside due to the guy who slid. And then
Cal McGregor just seems to slip, fall over.
Was it Milne that tried the shot?
Yeah,
deflect it. Or
falls into the path of McGregor. McGregor then falls down. Braga stays on his feet. Braga puts the ball past Schmeichel. Good finish for Braga. I initially didn't celebrate this because I did think he was offside, but then you see the replay and I believe it is Yang down in the sidelines. It's playing him onside, so a bit of an anticlimactic goal because, I mean, well, Hearts celebrated it, but I was sitting there thinking that's going to be ruled out.
And then it came evidently clear that it wasn't. So, fair play. The assistant could have fucking flagged this, and then Braga might never had the opportunity to put it in the back of the net.
You do play to the whistle now, so I mean, I think that's... We've seen that in football, where they tend to let the chance go, and then they put the flag up, and that's the correct decision.
Great goal, though, for Braga. Schmeichel couldn't do anything over. Right, into the second half.
Hearts ended the first half on top. Really should have... I was hoping the half-time whistle didn't go, because I thought Hearts were coming into the game. And you never know, sometimes half-time can change things, but I think Hearts started the second half pretty good as well.
No, they did. Magnuson had a header. Question of a second yellow on Milne. Was it a second yellow for you? Bit of an under-hit pass here to him.
Yeah, I don't understand how Milne didn't get... I mean, you see under-hit. He was in front of the Celtic player. Really should have got to the ball first. Don't think he realised he had someone behind him.
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
I mean, listen, there's a bit of contact there, but not every foul when you're on a yellow is a second yellow. And not for me. You can make any excuses you want, but not for me.
So not corruption then, no?
No, definitely not. No.
Definitely not. Right, so then the cameras pan to Nonsi. This was the first time they were whipping out the board, so... Well, maybe he's whipping out the board all game, but the first time we've seen him, so he's moving them about. We noticed the colours at this point. Shankland then gets played through him behind. He has a shot that's saved. Milne then makes it 2-0 from the corner kick into the back of the net. Pretty poor defending. No, sorry, it wasn't. It was Milne that got the assist, sorry.
It was McEntee. Nice header.
Got it confused there, but aye, great header into the back of the net. 2-0 up. And I remember Hearts beat Celtic 2-0 at... Celtic Park a couple of years ago with a Shankland header and a great free kick, and it looked like it was heading on that way. McCowan blazed over, then great 1-2 here between Shankland and Kazarides. Drags it wide. It was also another opportunity before this where they should have done better, Hearts, but there was plenty of opportunities where I think Hearts could have made it free, and free kills it. But this was around the point where Celtic fans were leaving. That shows
Celtic
confidence in their new manager.
Fans were giving up. I think Hearts at the back defensively were great. I think Cammy Devlin in the middle of the pitch was fantastic. Halkett, I think, was probably the standout. I mean, everybody was good in defence, but I think Halkett was just intercepting everything, really, wasn't he? And he was defending against Maida. I thought he was brilliant all game. Didn't really let that second half. I mean, any ball over the top or any through ball, I mean, Halkett just seemed to intercept and cut out.
I mean, say what you want. Even if Hearts don't go on to win this league title, Tony Bloom's come in and they've battered Celtic twice. I mean, yeah, I know this game's not really a battering, but I don't care. See if you beat Celtic away from home at Parkhead and do it in even enough fashion, that's as good, may as well be a battering.
No, absolutely. And I mean, people are saying, this is our only chance. I mean, I disagree with that 100% because I think Hearts will get stronger. I think Hearts will get better. And to me, I think we could be looking at Hearts as a team that is up there challenging for the top spots now every season for the foreseeable future. Yeah.
Now, moving on, Hatate cracks one off the bar after Engels had a header saved. I mean, this had to go in the back of the net. It didn't. 11 million down the drain for Engels. I mean, you have to score this.
Yeah, no, people saying he was looking a bit better. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, no, this This really did have to go in.
If Schermitty's getting
it's a great
Dundee United one, then
it's a great cross into the box. I mean, you know what? Did Schermitty not miss the target completely?
oh, I did.
I mean, at least Engels has got it on target. He's forced slow into it.
Straight down the middle.
Yeah, but at least Engels is. I mean, he's got it on target. That's the bare minimum. But it was a great cross in for Tierney. It was Tierney, wasn't it?
Right.
Fantastic cross for Tierney.
Played all right.
No, he did. Fantastic cross in for Tierney. Engels with a header. Good. I mean, I know it's right at him, but still, the reaction time, the distance. It's a good save for Shalot, and then you've got Yang who came in and fired it. Just was that Hatate actually just whacks it off the crossbar. Thunderbolt could have been in. Unlucky there. There was also like an incident where Kabore is on the break and Scales just wipes him out. Sutton said that both men were going for the ball.
Looking at the ball. No,
Scales
noticed it.
Scales didn't know where the ball was. All he knew was, here, I'm not letting Kabore pass me, and he wiped him out.
Yep.
Maida as well, I think, could have had you said he was on a yellow.
He wasn't on a yellow, but for me, he kicked out. I can't remember who he kicked out on, but he kicked him out after. This should have been a yellow. How he's not picked up a booking here is mental. But then Tierney made it 2-1. Hearts probably defending a little bit too deep. Tierney clicks on the volley, 2-1. And I mean, it made for a nervous last 90 seconds, no two ways about it. But for me, Hearts definitely deserved the victory in this game. I mean, it's not a game where they got a bit of luck or anything really like that. They stayed, they weathered the first 15-20 minutes, and then I think for the majority of the game with the better team.
No, what I thought was interesting, Nonsi only made 2 substitutes.
Well, maybe he didn't have enough counters on his board.
McCowan on the 59th minute and Kenny in the 65th.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. Balakwisha, the £5 million man.
Balakisha was left on the bench. Bernardo was left on the bench. Maybe Iheanacho's not fit or whatever, but still, you'd think at 1-0 down, then especially 2-0 down,
yeah,
you would change something. You'd think that you would make changes and bring players on. It's like it's the least you can do, really, and he didn't do that, and that kind of did surprise me. Whereas, I mean, you look at McInnes and he made use of all 5 substitutes.
No, he did. So all over at the end of the game, and then Chris Boyd, with an absolute belter towards Wilfried Nonsi, says he needs to get results, not play Connect 4 at the side of the pitch.
Yeah, that was a standout line for me. I did enjoy Sutton's. Nonsi just got McInnes in the second half, but then Chris Boyd with the whole Connect 4 comment was great. But anyway, guys, that's Hearts now connected 2 wins in a row against Celtic this season. Can we connect 4 wins? Can we get 4 in a row against Celtic?
Well, say what you want, man, right? Yeah, Hearts have let a lead slip, but this has reassured me that this will go a lot further than December.
See if you are going to win. See if someone is going to win a title, though. This is what you need to do. You need to be beaten
Celtic.
Yeah, because we remember when Aberdeen ran Celtic close. Was it back in 2015 or the previous season? They lost 3 and drew 1.
Aye,
and that's simply not good enough. You ain't gonna beat Celtic if you're losing to them 3 times.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But Hearts already have taken 6 points off of Celtic, and just think of the swing. Think if Celtic had beaten Hearts twice.
No, I know. No,
that's a massive swing. And instead of Hearts being 3 points in front, they're what? You take 6 away from them, you add 6 to Celtic.
Well, if Hearts beat Falkirk on next Saturday, then they go 6 points clear. Celtic do have 2 games in hand, but they don't play a game that weekend because they've got the cup final. But then they do get a 1 game back against Dundee United, which is away, and then their next game is a home match against Aberdeen. So yeah, but
I hope Martin O'Neill enjoys his retirement. By the way, hope he's got the slippers on. I think Smith Casper's will be a wee bit too big for him, but I tell you what, Martin, send me your address and I'll send you some slippers for free.
Right, Christmas gift.
But you better stay in them. That's the condition here. You're not allowed to take them off. I don't want to see Martin O'Neill back on the sidelines in a tracksuit.
Definitely not. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for the match review. Great wee Sunday, wasn't it?
Also, I'll be buying Nonsi a wee new Connect 4. What's he want? Connect 4 Battleship, Snakes and Ladders.
What's he want? Anything?
What's he want for the St Mirren game? Anything to distract him.
It's a poor look. It is. Honestly, Roma up next. Yo, folks, we said it. These 3 games could destroy this guy. Right, Roma's one of those ones where if you get beat but you win domestically, no one cares. But if you add like a 3-0 Roma win to this game and then you lose the cup final against St Mirren,
I think they brought him in at the worst possible time.
Yep.
Initially, you think they bring him in early, but then it takes a bit longer, and then you're thinking it just seemed like there was easier games to bring him in, and they brought him in. I just don't think this was the best game for the guy. And you could understand. You could say, well, here, if he's the man that Celtic believes going to be the future of the club, then he's going to have to win big games eventually. But a lot of pressure on him, and already we're seeing comments about get the guy out. So, I mean, not a good start. Yeah, I mean, who's to say this guy can't be a flop? Who's to say this guy can't be a Russell Martin?
yeah, Celtic have had it good with managers for far too long. At some point, you're going to have to sack a guy. It's not going to work out. Not every appointment can work. That's not saying he can't work, but based off one game,
Tell you what,
doesn't like.
it's been a while. It's been a long time since Celtic had a manager that didn't work.
Yeah, because
Tony-
Lennon worked,
Tony Mowbray.
but he just got sacked.
Yeah, Tony Mowbray would have to be the.
Aye,
And, and
15.
he's the only one that I can think of
Aye.
in this century at least.
Like John Barnes, was this?
I think he's in the late 90s, no?
I think he sneaked into the 2000.
Well,
and that's when Martin O'Neill came in.
either way, you know, Celtic have been fortunate with managers that most of them have been good.
Yeah. So
But
we'll
you know,
see how it goes,
sooner or
guys.
later you get a bad apple.
Aye.
No, so it could be it.
And I don't think there's a counter tactic on that board to destroy whatever. So till next time. Peace.
It was another wet 90 minutes at Celtic Park, and no, it wasn't Callum McGregor tears, but it may as well have been because Celtic lose again for the second time now under new boss Nonsi. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Yes, the players were drenched tonight, drenched in the rain. It looked like the players had all taken baths. Speaking of baths, I don't think Nonsi could run one. He certainly cannot run this Celtic team. It is really, really poor so far. After 2 games, he has an aggregate scoreline of 1 scored, 5 against. Not good for the man that was supposed to come in and be the saviour. Somebody phoned up Scoreboard and said this guy would win the Champions League within 7 years. I think you could give this guy 7 years and he wouldn't even qualify for it. Never mind, win the damn thing.
Aye, well, I mean, it's here. I think he's got a get out of jail free card, but I also think it's a double-edged sword. He's got a cup final. And I think if he wins that, the last 2 games will be forgotten about. I think if he loses that, there could be sharks, there could be barricades, there could be everything. Because, I mean, we'll get labelled as 2 bitter orange bastards, but the reality is, I think if he loses that cup final, he's borderline already fucked.
Well, the reality is, I wanted Celtic to win the night, but they didn't, so, you know, I'm going to gloat about it a wee bit, but I did want Celtic to win. It didn't happen. Another bad night for Scottish football. Rangers losing in Hungary. Aberdeen losing against Strasbourg, and Celtic losing against Roma. I believe it's not the first time that all 3 Scottish teams have lost this year in the league phase.
It probably won't be the last either. Next match day.
Yeah, probably not. To be fair.
Hold on here. Rangers, I think. Rangers are at home to Ludogorets, might win. Aberdeen away to some good team, which could be any of the other 35, to be honest. And Celtic are away to Atalanta, so, I mean, that looks like 3 L's potentially. Honestly, it's crazy how bad we've fallen off, but I do you agree, though, with Nonsi, it's if he beats St Mirren, these 2, well, I'm not saying the Hearts game doesn't matter, but I feel like this game tonight only really mattered if you lost to Hearts. I think if you beat Hearts and you lose this 3-0, it's just, well, he's implementing a new style. Of course he's going to get found out against Roma. But I said in the build-up to this, what was it, the starting 11 members only show, I turned around and said, by the way, if Hearts can exploit it, Roma are going to exploit it. And they did.
Yep, I was walking out my bed for that members thing, so I
Aye.
hope you guys appreciate it. Or 2's. But I still...
What are you trying to say here?
Still more goals.
Am I going to be driving a bus soon?
Beep, beep. Anyway, maybe Celtic should just park a bus in front of their goal and it might actually get them a result. But
No, I thought they were shocking tonight in the first half in particular. Could have got a penalty. Well, I mean, they did get a penalty, but they could have scored it.
it was very soft. Very soft.
Yeah, I put it in the notes. Never a penalty, but not clear and obvious, so they can't overturn it.
Yeah, and what was weird is Joe Hart said, oh, it's very soft. you'd be upset if you gave that away.
You'd be raging.
Yeah, when the Roma players that showed any sign of being upset, he was they're pathetic, they're embarrassing. Well, which one is it?
I'd say he's pathetic for reacting pathetically to them for something he said that it would actually be a valid point if you reacted to like that.
Yeah, but anyway, I think you could tell the opening of this game, it was only going to go one way. After the first 10 minutes, Roma just looked good and Celtic did not.
Yeah, now Roma took the lead. I asked you who scored. You said Manolas. I'm pretty sure he's not played for them in about 8 years. I think it was Mancini that went up for it, but Scales actually stuck it in. So not only did you get a guy that probably doesn't even play for them, the other guy was wrong, and it turns out Scales put it in his own net. Almost like what he did against St Mirren.
Mancini's been at Roma a long time as well, so he must be pretty old.
I know, but Manolas...
I know it's not Roberto Mancini.
Maybe Manolas still plays for them, but I'm pretty sure their back two tonight was Ndicka and that Mancini guy. So
Manolas was always one of my favourites in Ultimate Team. He was like one of my go-to players.
I was 84 rated. And this performance tonight for Celtic wasn't 84 rated.
Nah. I mean, you could maybe switch to 4 and 8, like, and maybe a 48. But overall, it's simply just not good enough. Going to be honest, what a depressing fucking night. I want Scottish football to be good.
I enjoyed this part of the night.
No.
The bit prior. Dinner time. Bogging. I get served a plate of shite.
It's no good enough. And I'm hoping that'll change next year when we have a good team in Europe, because Tony Bloom's men will be there. We just don't know in what capacity. Could be Champions League. Could be Europa League.
Are you worried for Wilfried Nancy? Or do you think...
I think he's fucking great. I think he's the man. I would give this guy a lifetime contract.
I thought you just said you were upset.
Aye, well, I mean, well, you know what? Why don't Celtic do this? Why doesn't Nancy take charge of the domestic games and Martin O'Neill take charge of the European games? That way, Martin O'Neill can help them in Europe, get Scotland coefficient points, and Nancy can just fuck them domestically. That works
instead of fucking them both ways.
Although if Nancy's in charge...
He's got at the weekend, he's got a chance of doing it triple.
Although if you put Nancy in charge of the domestic football, then they probably won't have European football next year, so... At the rate Celtic are going, it's not good.
See, when I seen the same 11 and the same formation with the same tactics going into this game, I knew Celtic couldn't win.
I actually do feel a bit bad for Nancy though, to be fair.
Why?
Well, Martin O'Neill came in and was pretty much perfect. Yeah, he had that bad result against Michelin, but other than that, won every game. If you count the semi-final against Rangers, I know it goes to extra time and whatnot, but no, still a win at the end of the day.
Won.
He won every game apart from Michelin, and the Michelin game was a game that Celtic weren't really expected to win, so therefore that loss, I think it would have felt different if Celtic lost to an inferior team in Europe, but because they lost to an actual team that was expected to beat Celtic, it's almost like that O'Neill result wasn't that bad. And then you've got Nancy coming in, and he takes charge when Celtic have got, undoubtedly, 3 of their toughest games that they'll have this season. Hearts, the league leaders, Roma, and then... obviously, the cup final. And the pressure that must have been on. See, if Martin O'Neill was doing shite, people would have been rubbing their hands at Nancy coming, finally we've got him in, he can turn this around. But unfortunately for him, the caretaker managers came in and actually done a great job. And normally it's weird because caretaker managers normally only come in for a couple of games, or if they stay for longer than a couple of games and they get the sort of results that O'Neill do, they stay on till the end of the season, or they get the job permanently. It's very rare that you see a caretaker manager come in for a run of games. I think O'Neill had was it 8?
Yeah.
It's very rare you see someone come in and win 7 out of the 8.
No,
and then at that point they're actually looking good. So whoever comes in to follow him, you're having to follow a great run of results that the previous manager wasn't getting. And now it just looks it looks poor because Brendan Rodgers before O'Neill looked shit. Then O'Neill came in. Don't think they looked great, but they were getting the wins. Now Nancy's come in and they don't look great and they're not getting the wins, so yeah, it's a difficult situation.
It is, but again...
Now these people that were saying keep O'Neill now, they're all going to feel vindicated now because they're going to think, oh look, we were right.
Well here, me and you, many others, wanted O'Neill out the door as soon as possible because he was getting results.
The one thing I will say is I don't think there's a guarantee that O'Neill beats Hearts. I don't think there's a guarantee that O'Neill's Celtic gets a result tonight, but I do think there's a better chance.
What I would say is... I think the
likelihood of Celtic getting a result at home against Hearts goes up. I think the likelihood... Because I don't think O'Neill plays... Well, I know O'Neill doesn't play a 3-4-3. And
Stephen Robinson must be licking his lips.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, put it this way.
You can exploit this.
He took them very close against Rodgers at the first game of the season when I think you would probably argue under Rodgers, that's probably the best they've been at the start of the season. When they didn't go off the rails as quick. And then as for O'Neill...
St Mirren had a better game in that match against Martin O'Neill.
If St Mirren can match what they did in the first 2 games, I think they'll win. Because Robinson will exploit the 3-4-3. Here, Celtic have got the players to finish St Mirren, no doubt. I'll say this, I would be flabbergasted if Celtic put 3 or 4 past St Mirren. I think it's going to be very close.
True, but I mean, we could see a case where Celtic have now got a couple of games under their belt and they're getting a bit more familiar with the system, and who knows, maybe they do come out. Maybe they come out on Sunday and blow St Mirren away.
No, I don't. I mean, they could, right? They could, but for me, I think it's going to be very close. I wouldn't be surprised Celtic over the line. That's what they do in these situations, sadly.
And again, it's like, how bad's that going to look for Nancy? Not only if he loses the cup final, but
it's 3 games in a row. It's a title, not title decider, but it's a big title match against Hearts. Let's face it, one of the last of your 3 European games you should be looking to win because you're at home. I mean, I know Roma, but as the guy, who's the guy who's doing...
There's no shame in losing to Roma, but there is shame in losing 3-0 and being shite.
Well, Rangers only lost 2-0 and it was pathetic, so what am I going to call 3-0? For me, Rangers and Celtic should be looking to beat most teams in the Europa League at home. Even if it is Roma, I don't care what you say.
Yeah, but not only is this a cup final, I mean, we've already seen Brendan Rodgers has beat St Mirren, Martin O'Neill's beat St Mirren. Albeit, yeah, very late goals and it was 1-0 wins in both of those games, but... If Nonsi doesn't get the job done, it's going to look poor. They're going to go, holy fuck, this guy's come in and he's took Martin O'Neill's impressive run, he's fucked it. And then we've had the 2 previous managers this season, O'Neill and Rodgers, they also beat St Mirren and this guy couldn't do it. It's a big game for Nonsi. And I'm not saying it would be acceptable if he lost, but see if he came in and beat Hearts and then got a draw the night or something, then I think even if he does lose, it's like, well...
I know. But right, let's get into the rest of this game. So, Ferguson I thought was brilliant. He rattled the post. Soul had a shot saved by Schmeichel.
Must have hurt Ferguson scoring the night.
Right, he made it 2-0. Tap in, good play, great goal. Bang, bang, good night. He didn't look too pissed off about it though. Hatate almost made it 2-1. I actually wrote Hatate 2-1, but then went, haha, missed.
Yeah, he should have scored. Good chance here, Hatate. Good play for Celtic.
Yep.
But fired it way over.
Ferguson 3-0. Fired into him. Touch, finish. See, to me...
See, when you see... I know Roma's not the elite, but even teams at Roma's level, they've just got that quality that our teams don't.
Aye, say what you want. See Evan Ferguson, the Republic of Ireland should be pushing him. I know he starts most games for them, but that's what we
lack. They're hardly going to start that other fucking donkey up front, are they?
No, but see...
Adam Ida?
He looked different. Great. See this touch and turn? No one in this league's got that.
No.
Honestly... Like, yeah, we've got good players with technical ability and players pace in this league, but see in terms of a touch finish, I'm not saying, it was like prime Thierry Henry, but it was like something you just expect guys like that to do.
Aye, top level guys.
Doesn't give the defender a chance to... The defender can't even react to the touch.
But the defending was poor the night across the board.
Oh, it was 3-0 though. Right, penalty. Hermoso on Engels. Never a pen for me, but once the ref gives it, they can't overturn it. And for me, that's what's wrong with VAR. So you can give the shitiest, runniest egg of all time, but because it's still been given, you have to go through it.
I mean, there's a slight... I mean, he is... I mean, he's got a hold there, right?
Who's holding who, though, when Engels hits the ground?
Well, that is true. Engels is holding on to his shirt as well, so I mean, you see this... I don't think there's enough in this. For me, it's a 50-50, man. Both guys are grabbing each other.
Like, how does this get given, but the Diamonde one at Kelly doesn't get given, you know?
I'm almost thinking the scoreline as well, maybe helps this be given.
Yep, but Engels didn't help himself.
See if it's 0-0. I'm not convinced the referee gives it. It could just be one of those ones where like, I don't know what to do here, but here the home team's losing 3-0. We'll just give him a penalty.
Absolutely. Engels rattles the post.
Now Hatate was originally supposed to take it. Roma players were protesting. McGregor came in to see what all the fuss was about. Joe Hart then literally started masturbating over Cal McGregor. Oh, what a guy! Cal McGregor coming in there sorting everything out. I mean, like, what the fuck? What was Joe Hart doing? Like, why do you have such a hard-on for Cal McGregor?
It was embarrassing.
All Cal McGregor came... We don't even know what Cal McGregor did. He just came over to, like... I'm assuming ask the ref, like, you know, what's happening? What's the hold-up kind of deal? And Joe Hart was, like, white knighting for Cal McGregor. It was really embarrassing. And then Rio Hatai literally shat himself. Maybe he went down the sidelines to change his pants. I don't know. And so he disappeared for the penalty spot, and Arnie Engels stepped up, and you're thinking, right, well, here, he's going to do some stat padding because the guy's shite, so... I guess they need to try and claw back some of that 11 million, and he rattles it off the post. And this kind of just summed up Celtic's night. I'm not saying they get back into it, like, if they score this, but
you can at least ask the question.
You know, it's
next goal crucial.
It's before half time. You never know. You score this and it gives you somewhat of a chance, maybe. But they missed it, and it kind of just, that was kind of where the game ended. Second half, we've seen Iheanacho. He got a goal, was ruled off.
You thought it was level?
Originally, I thought it was level, but then they draw the lines, it looked off by quite a bit. So I don't know if I need to go to Specsavers, or if they showed a different angle, or if the lines were bullshit. I don't know. The lines make it look like he's offside by a decent amount, but originally when I seen it, it looked pretty tight in my eyes. But who knows? So that got ruled. He also did a slide as well, slide knee celebration. Yeah.
Like he was already running on. He did like half a celebration, right? Then decided to like run back and then knee slid, then got straight back up. Why do it?
But he showed good mentality, because when the goal was disallowed, rather than just like mope and sulk and shit like that, he was actually pressing up and trying to bring the other players with him and demanding that his teammates come and press forward and push up the pitch and try and put a bit of pressure on Roma. So, fair play to him, because at that point, pissing down in the rain, goal chopped off, still 3-0. You could have forgiven him if he just sunk to the ground, like. But nah. So I did think he showed a good attitude. Then Roma score, very good finish, but again, just marginally offside. I think it's the correct decision. There's not much in it, but I think he's just offside. Even when you look at the lines, you can kind of see that he's ahead of the lines, whereas I believe it's Scales' heel is on the line. So yeah, this was probably the correct decision. Yeah, it finished 3-0. I mean, Celtic had a bit more possession and stuff in the second half, but I think this game played out a lot similar to the Roma Rangers one. Roma done the damage in the first half, and in the second half, they were just kind of willing to see it out.
And obviously, at 2-0, you get one. It's easier. Rangers never got the one. Neither did Celtic. And
it wasn't a carbon copy, but I thought it was very similar to where Roma done the damage in the first half.
Put it this way, right?
The second half,
a couple of weeks ago,
took their foot off the gas.
See, a couple of weeks ago when Celtic beat Feyenoord, it looked pretty possible that they're going to get into the next round, because all you got to do is beat Utrecht, right?
Well, it's still looking no bad, to be fair.
No, it's still looking no bad, right? But my point is...
But here, this is bad on the goal.
Well,
I tell you what, this is bad on the goal difference as well. I said that Celtic...
They're -1, weren't they? So it's -4.
Celtic can probably afford to lose the next two games and then win the final one and go through, but I did say that they would need to make sure they don't suffer heavy defeats. They got a heavy defeat tonight. 10 points can be enough to take you through, but not every team on 10 points will go through. And now Celtic are currently on -4. We'll cover it, guys, in the review show, but yeah, for me...
I think the biggest problem for Nancy is the fact that the 3-4-3 seems to stick a 3-4-3. I think when you're against these better teams, you need to switch it to a 5-3-2.
No, I agree with that.
Or a 5-2-3, whatever you want. Because see when he rocks up to Atlanta and plays this exact same way.
Same thing at home.
Yeah, and say it you want, but even we saw it against Hearts. I thought they were far too attacking, and Hearts. See, every time Hearts attacked, was it not doing the flanks? Because Aridis and Braga brought them into play. So, yeah.
We'll see what happens, right, in the review show, but I've got a funny feeling now Celtic are getting dangerously close to the point where they actually need 4 now at their last 6. Or
do you think O'Neill could be back for Christmas?
Or they will need a very heavy win. They'll need to, like, scud Utrecht in the final game.
Yep.
Like 3-4-0.
Well, it's not good, folks, because it's 5, like you said, 5 conceded, 1 scored in 2 games. What's it going to be after the weekend? We'll have to wait and see.
I don't care, as long as
Stephen Robinson's left in that fucking trophy.
I'd take it still be 1 scored 5 against, as long as it's St Mirren win on penalties.
Celtic do love a 0-0, but losing on pens.
Well, I'll take that. Anyway, guys, that's it. There you go. Catch you in the next one. Until then, peace. Stephen Robinson lifts his first trophy as St Mirren manager as the Nancy effect fails at Celtic for the 3rd time in a row. And I've only one abbreviation and 5 words to say. Get it right up ye. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. What a beautiful Sunday. Saturday night was pretty beautiful. Sunday... midday, afternoon, evening, night, carrying on into Monday. It's going to be fucking great.
It was phenomenal. St Mirren 3, Celtic 1. I mean, you couldn't have it. This 3 L's in a row.
What is it with Casper Schmeichel at Hampden?
Hold the L, buddy.
Inject it into my fucking veins. Casper Schmeichel at Hampden is honestly, man. Apart from when he's playing Rangers, it seems
You'd be
to be.
better
Apart
off-
from that, I mean, honestly,
You'd be better off with a Danish pastry that's out of date sitting in goals.
aye. Because honestly, I think literally every goal today, Casper Schmeichel looked ridiculous. We'll talk about it, but who cares about the game of football? Wilfried Nancy's lost 3 games in a row. This was the crazy hypothetical, right? We were talking about when he got appointed ahead of that Dundee game, and it was O'Neill's last.
What if?
What if? They might take. Oh, but we don't deal in what ifs. We deal in absolutes as an alarm's going off.
Stephen Robinson on the phone there trying to congratulate me.
What if they lost to Hearts? What if they lost to Roma? What if they lost to St Mirren? It was always, but if they lose to Hearts, they'll beat Roma. Oh, but if they lose to both of them, this is Celtic, they'll win the cup final. We've had comments aplenty. This is what we do. We win cup finals. And you know what? They do.
Not anymore.
But I actually want some people to take accountability. See, instead of just being bitter. No, I'm not saying every Celtic fan that comments on this channel is like that, but how about you just put your hands up and say, we've appointed, by the looks of it, an absolute dud. We've been shite across the last 3 games.
And St Mirren deserved this win.
Yes, because St Mirren did. Let's fucking call it.
Despite the attempted robbery, by the way, at trying to prevent a third St Mirren goal.
Yeah, I thought Kevin Clancy had an absolute fucking shite all the day. As per usual, I don't expect much more for Kevin Clancy. But yeah, Stephen Robinson lifts the trophy. Celtic, apart from a spell, probably about a 20-minute spell between the 15th minute and the 35th minute, I thought St Mirren well worth the victory. Could have been more. Probably arguably should have been more, the way how open Celtic were towards the end.
I mean, there was a period in that first half where you did fear for St Mirren, because Celtic, when they got the equaliser, they got on top, and I mean, St Mirren were pinned back quite a bit. But I think probably the 5 minutes before the break, St Mirren kind of played themselves back into the game. But I still think the half-time interval came at the right time for St Mirren. But honestly, I think based off the second half performance, only one team deserved to lift this trophy.
Yeah,
only one.
I mean, we've seen it quite a lot this season, right? But I think when Celtic conceded that third, they pointed it on commentary. I think it's one of the few things that Michael Stewart got right. I think the belief left them. I think they've realised, like most of the players, this squad's done, and also the manager. I mean, I think to be considered done, you had to be actually considered something at some point. I just don't. Wilfried Nancy, don't rate the guy. You can't come into. I mean, honestly, what club can you come into and lose 3 games on the bounce? This is Celtic. This isn't just some throwaway fucking club. At the end of the day, you've come in and lost 3 games on the. Obviously, right. The first goal, I'm not saying Schmeichel can do anything about it. It's a great header for Fraser, but I think the other 2, he's very, very questionable. But anyway, we'll get into it. So, corner kick to St Mirren, and Fraser into the back of the net. Bacchus with the assist. Perfect header. Perfect start.
Dreams do come true.
Yep, this is what we wanted. I'm not going to fucking shy away from it. Of course we wanted this.
You're supposed to be a neutral channel. Hold on. We're a Scottish football channel that covers all of Scottish football. When have I ever sat here and says, oh, I'm 50-50. I don't care who wins between St Mirren and Celtic. I fucking absolutely would take St Mirren to win every day of the week. Absolutely. I've never sat by him. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that.
And there also is a difference between who you want to win and actually, looking at decisions fairly.
Yeah.
Which we do. Of course we do.
And we'll look at quite a few decisions in this game.
I thought this was fucking shocking today. But in off the post, Schmeichel's beaten, and there's, like I said, there's some inject it. Schmeichel being beat by goals at Hampden, there's nothing better.
Could Schmeichel have done better for all 3 goals today? I think this one was probably the one that he had least fault for.
It's a beautiful head. I mean, it's horrific from a Celtic point of view because you've just conceded 2 minutes in. The marking's pretty poor.
But I do think the other 2 Schmeichel should do better. That's not me saying that I think he should save them, even though
he was pretty bad.
Even though he does get something on the third one. But you think Hatate was bad?
No, for this goal.
All right, for this, I
thought
actually
Hatate was good.
I thought Hatate was pretty good today. I thought he's one of Celtic's best players. Although towards the end, there was a few misplaced passes for Hatate, but I get that. You're 3-1 down. You're trying shit. You're desperate. Sometimes it doesn't really work. But even I know we're going in the timeline of the match here, but even towards the end, I think nothing really came for Celtic. Yeah,
No.
you that Donovan shot.
Perfect
but
Donovan.
There was no. I felt there was a lack of urgency. They
No, like I said, I think
They
with the
didn't. They didn't look like a team that needed 2 goals and time was running out.
That's here. Say it you want. 3 games in, when they conceded that third, that looked like a team that's done playing for this manager. And trust me, folks, I've got experience in the field of a team that looks done playing for a manager. If there's people that can speak experience to that, it's Rangers fans, and that's what it looked like to me. I mean, I'm not saying the players entirely gave up, but did they not give you those kind of vibes? That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
And people can laugh and joke, but I don't think Celtic will sack him. But I think you will struggle to... I would say the overwhelming majority now would want Wilfried Nancy sacked and O'Neill back.
Absolutely. I think maybe not the overwhelming majority, but I think a lot of people didn't even want O'Neill to go in the first place. And after the Hearts game, there was a lot of talk about, I should have kept O'Neill. The Roma game, maybe not so much, because that's a game that I think O'Neill would have probably been expected to lose as well. But after this cup final, wow, definitely not. I mean, Wilfried Nancy's already set the record. He is the first Celtic manager to lose his first 2 games in charge, and now he's set. To me, Celtic...
Russell Martin-esque.
Celtic are such a big club that I think there's a good chance this record will last forever.
Yeah.
Well, it never happened before. Previously, no manager had ever lost his first 2 games. And now he's made it 3.
Yeah.
And who's to say he won't make it 4 on Wednesday night?
Yeah, forget about 4 though. I mean, he might not. He could go his first 4 without a win.
It's
He could go his first 5 without a win.
It's also, the first time in a long time, I would have to imagine that Celtic have lost 2 cup finals in a row.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know when the last time that would be. I said the last video, probably last century, but anyway, Iheanacho here, the header saved. I thought Ndululu was brilliant today. He had shot blocked, shots going in, all sorts. He really should make it 2-0 though. Declan John fizzes it in, and he just hits the side net and wet. Could have done better. Maida has a header that goes wide. Hatate missed an open net, but he didn't miss the next one. And Fraser gives away a bit of a needless foul, if you ask me, because I know Maida is through, but there's a guy covering it. Gives away the free kick, and then from this free kick, Celtic have a couple of crosses. Tierney into Hatate.
It's a good delivery for Tierney.
I thought Tierney and Hatate were Celtic's 2 best players today, and they linked up for their only goal. So good goal.
No surprise that those were the 2 that contributed for the goal.
Yeah, Phillips was down, injured, but
we've seen a lot. Well, to be fair though, in recent games, Tierney's delivery has been good. People are saying, he's done, he's lost his pace, but I mean, he's still got that quality.
Yep. No,
you can tell he's delivering.
Up next, right? Iheanacho goes down injured and puts the ball out, and then they give Celtic a free kick. Can someone actually explain this to me?
Yeah, definitely, it's a throw-in for St Mirren every day of the week, but apparently for some reason not this day.
And before people go, but here when people get injured, the ball goes out all the time and free kicks are given. He gave it as a throw-in to Celtic after Iheanacho put it out. Dodgy. Anyway, Iheanacho's legs are going. I literally said, I was like...
And people might say, that's enough, but Celtic just scored for a free kick in this similar area for this. Yeah. So, I mean, at this time you're thinking, it's a really good opportunity, but nothing really came from it.
Bacchus had a chance blazed over then.
I feel a bit sorry for Iheanacho, because I think he's been no bad the last couple of games since he's came back. He's been up for it.
Then Trusty and Ndululu got into it. I don't really know what this is over. But Ndululu got booked. And then when St Mirren went 2-1 up, I believe, he was fucking grabbing people. He was grabbing Hatate back. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and he was playing a risky game here on a yellow card. I think there was like multiple times in the second half where he was getting a little bit physical in terms of just like with his hands and, grabbing people and stuff like that. And that's not what I would be doing on a yellow card. I'm beginning to think he forgot he was on one, to be fair. The way he was acting in the second half. It wasn't that he wasn't tackling in it. It's just that his arms were getting involved a lot, and you're thinking, son, you need to be careful here. You're on a yellow card. A second one will change this game massively.
He's getting the piss ripped out of him as Wilfried Nancy. A lot of Celtic fans calling for his head. I mean, obviously we wouldn't sack him, right? But do you think?
No, you can't. No,
do you think there's a chance we wake up tomorrow morning?
No, you can't get sacked after 3 games. I don't care how bad they are. Well, I mean, unless they lost 10-0 today, then maybe you can. But you
By what have done to United beat them? Because this is no longer what ifs. This is like a
what
really...
what when?
Aye.
What when?
Aye. See on Wednesday night when they get beat, what happens?
God, I don't think he gets sacked after 4 games.
5? If you lose at home to Aberdeen, I think you deserve to get sacked.
If you lose at Aberdeen to period, just ask Stuart Kettlewell. I think you
McInnes?
deserve to get sacked. Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't too happy after that game. But, let's talk more about the second half.
Difference a
here.
few weeks makes for
Let's
Hearts.
talk more about the second half, because I thought it was delightful.
Beautiful. Dare I say, Gogic missed a free header.
Got me in the Christmas spirit, that's for sure.
Bacchus deflected shot saved, right.
Santa Robinson delivering the goods.
I think at this period where it was 1 each into 2-1, Kevin Clancy was giving nothing to St Mirren and giving everything to Celtic. It was ridiculous, honestly, man. I'll probably rewatch this game because it was brilliant, especially this. No, but see Kevin Clancy, man. Rewatch this game and tell me there's not a big club bias. This is.
I don't need to rewatch it. I've been saying it. I've been saying that for years.
This period of the game, and people fucking be man enough to admit it, because I see over the past couple of weeks, I've been more than man enough to admit it when Rangers have had decisions go my team's fucking way.
A lot of decisions, by the way, just pointing that out there.
Fuck it. See, I mean, everything here went Celtic's way.
It was like every 50-50 he was blowing and giving Celtic a free kick for. Like, I couldn't fucking believe it.
Like, no, no contacts whatsoever. And then just before Ayunga made it 2-1, right? McGregor tackles the guy, but like, he pushes as he's tackling him, he does like a double-handed push in the back of the St Mirren guy.
And no foul.
Does he win the ball? Yes, but he's fucking winning the ball by pushing the guy out the road.
And I don't think this was an advantage. I just think the referee didn't give it. There was no sign that he was playing on.
And then Michael Stewart, Ralston took out a St Mirren guy, and Michael Stewart's like, I don't know why Ralston's no complaining about that.
Yeah,
because
because
nothing on. He didn't do anything.
Wiped him out.
It's like Michael Stewart's hatred for Rangers just means he supports Celtic against everybody. But 2-1 Ayunga, McGregor, that was definitely a push for me. And then Schmeichel, just awful here. You want to talk about no man's land? If he stays in the net here, good chance he just saves this, catches it down his throat. So
it was good. The ball came in, Nolundu held it up, and he's played it to Gogic, who's just lofted it over the top. And you've got Ayunga in there, beats Schmeichel to it. Schmeichel comes out waving his arms in the air. Ayunga gets the header, and he puts it in the back of the net. And I don't think it was Schmeichel's greatest moment.
No, it wasn't, right, and this was a good goal. But I think up next.
Speaking of Schmeichel's greatest moment,
I think this is one of the worst decisions you'll see, right?
I called this out straight away.
Do you know why, right? Even if you want to say Schmeichel gets clipped here, play to the whistle. How many times do we see?
That's what VAR's for.
How many times do we see people, right, who are like 10 yards offside, and they play 30 seconds, then put the flag up? If you're willing to do that, then you have to play here. But I don't know, was it Indalulu got the ball after Schmeichel slipped on his arse, and he's about to put it in, and then the ref blows the whistle, so he can't do anything. Why not? Yeah, let it go in, then overturn it.
The shows the and I called it at the time when he slipped.
And this is where FAR gets abused, because they know, right? If he puts this in the back of the net, this is deemed not clear and obvious, and therefore the goal has to stand.
See, unless the referee is convinced that Schmeichel's been fouled, why is he blowing that?
Yeah.
And see, when you see the replay, there's nothing there to suggest. I don't even think there's any contact at all. It looks like Schmeichel slips to me, but there's nothing on that replay. This is corruption. The referee can't possibly. No, what's he blowing for? There's nothing on the replay to show that. What could he have blown for?
I mean, I'm going to assume he's thought there's been a clip in there, but watching it once or twice, I can't see it. It looks like Schmeichel's just slipped on his arse.
I can't even see a slight bit of contact to suggest that. Well, he's touched him a little bit, and the referee's thought he's took it.
Schmeichel's smart though, right? He knows what's happened immediately, and he's like, I need to hold my foot here, and he'll probably give this.
And the referee's folded. The referee has folded.
That's exactly here, and it's all good laughing and joking about this. But what happens if Celtic got to make it 2-1?
This was at 2-1. This could have changed the game, and it's not right. He should play on and then see what happens, and then let's say St Mirren do put the ball in the back of the net, and if Schmeichel was legitimately fouled, then that's what VAR's for. Then you chop the goal off. But by him blowing the whistle, he is rendering the play dead. Therefore, St Mirren can't capitalise here. And when the replay shows that, in fact, nothing actually happened, that doesn't help St Mirren. If he plays on and St Mirren scores, they can rule the goal off. The goal. See, as soon as he blows the whistle, then they can't do nothing.
Yep.
So,
I think this
what is the point of VAR?
I think this is honestly, man, I think this is where they just get it. You can't do this. The whole point of VAR is that they can overturn mistakes. But in order to allow that to happen, you have to let these situations play out. And I think you're just lucky here that St Mirren didn't get cost by this. And like I said, I don't care. Even if you think it is a foul, play to the whistle.
Do you think it's a foul?
I don't think it is. I've seen it twice.
I don't even think he touched him.
I couldn't see anything right. Maybe I'm wrong. That could happen. Been wrong enough in my life. But the point is, even if there is contact with Schmeichel, you have to play to the fucking you have to let the play end. Just crazy, but it didn't matter because St Mirren made it 3-1, didn't they?
They did, aye. And
I don't know what Celtic are doing here. They got one guy at the back. Declan John's running through. I need Declan.
I thought the chance was gone, by the way.
I need Declan John.
No,
I needed him to score from a build a bit.
If Declan John's going to pass it, I think he should have passed it. Then again, what do I fucking know? Because Declan John's just proved me wrong. But I thought if he was going to pass it, he should have passed it early. See, when he held onto the ball, I thought the only option was left to shoot.
He made it better.
But then he doesn't shoot, and I'm thinking, what's he doing?
But he drags the two Celtic guys offside, and it also fucks up Schmeichel. And then it goes to Ayunga, who gets a brace, puts it past Schmeichel. Schmeichel a bit pish again.
No, but it was perfect for Declan John. But originally, I thought, he should have played the pass. He's not going to play him in. He's going to go on himself and take a shot. And then he kind of stops, and I'm thinking the shooting opportunity's gone. I'm thinking, what's he doing? And I'll tell you what he's doing. He's finishing this game. Yep. He's tucking Wilfried Nonce away.
3-1, and obviously, for everyone that wanted Celtic to lose, which I would assume is everybody outside of Celtic fans, I mean, who wouldn't want St Mirren to lift this?
No, we all want the underdog to win, especially against Celtic, but you know what I mean? It's like...
I mean, apart from, obviously, like the nerves of, if Celtic get a goal here, then you never know. Apart from the Donovan shot and a shite McCowan free kick and a couple of efforts blazed over, Celtic did nothing. Perfect end.
The final third, I thought in the last 10 minutes, they gave the ball away quite a lot.
No, they did.
They seemed reluctant to just shoot across the ball into the box.
Yeah.
They're playing all these wee short passes and trying to do 1-2s and overlaps in the final third when you've got less than 10 minutes to go. And at this point, you're thinking, hold on, you're 2 down. Why don't you just chuck the ball into the box and hope for the best?
No,
that didn't happen.
But it ended 3-1, and you know what, man? 3 games for Nonce.
I hoped for the best when Nonce took over, and I don't think it could have turned out any better.
Yeah.
No. I mean, they could have lost every game 10-0, but apart from that, I mean, it's been absolute.
Eight goals conceded, 2 scored. I mean, borderline scud it in every game.
Whose bubbles burst now, by the way?
Oh, this is yeah. I mean, Hearts definitely stumbled a few weeks ago with a few draws, but not the key thing is, see if you're playing poorly, don't lose. Celtic are playing poorly and they've lost 3 in a row. And and I actually feel sorry for Martin O'Neill because I think he should have got this cup final and I think he should have got to the end of the season, but by God, am I fucking glad he didn't. I mean, he could be back in tomorrow morning, but...
Do you feel sorry for Nonce?
No, he took the job and he's getting paid handsomely.
And he'll probably get paid a big payout soon.
No, I don't feel sorry for him. I think it's... Here, I wouldn't sack him. I think it would be wrong to sack him. Can't be doing that. Just this. So it's almost Christmas.
No, I can't sack him. You need to keep him until at least January.
You know what I mean?
January 3rd.
Sacre bleu, huh? Oui, oui. Oui, oui, that's what is fucking brilliant.
January 3rd, 2029.
Aye.
Yeah.
Keep him to his fucking deal.
Anyway, I mean, that was it. I think St Mirren had a few more counters. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if St Mirren had another one here. A few times on the break, they looked pretty dangerous. But, in the end, it was 4-1. 3-1, could have been 4-1.
Hugh Keevins said the only way Nonce's going to get sacked is if he loses the January 3rd game. Do you think he can get sacked before that? I think he can.
Well, let's say he loses every game. Does he get? Let's say he loses every game. Does he get to January 3rd?
Well, put it this way: I don't think Celtic are going to lose every game January 3rd.
No, but if he does,
that's just unthinkable.
No, but if he does he get to January 3rd?
I don't think he does. No, I don't think he gets to Christmas if he lost. I think he's only got 1 more game, or no, 2 more games for Christmas. I think
Dundee United and Aberdeen.
No, if he lost Dundee United, I think it would be a case of unacceptable, absolutely unacceptable. But it's a weight ton of dice. You could maybe spin it that way. If you lose at home to Aberdeen, then you have to go.
Footballing gods, please.
That would be a no bad 5-0.
Please! Anyway, it was great to see St Mirren win. Great to see
it could be a case that you'd actually want Celtic to beat Rangers to keep them in a job.
Fuck aye. Stephen Robinson, great to see him lift a trophy. He deserves it. I've always liked Stephen Robinson. I think he's done an amazing job at St Mirren over the last 3 years. 3 top 6 finishes in a row. Also, I thought he'd done a good job at St Mirren, Motherwell previously. Thought he'd done a good job there. And yeah, no, this guy is performing miracles every single. Well, maybe not miracles, but he's performing above and beyond what is expected of him, and what's expected above this team. And now he's got something to truly mark his St Mirren career. And I said yesterday that I wouldn't be surprised if this is the final season. I'm not trying to, rob St Mirren fans. They're a really good manager. But I said that I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen Robinson wins the cup and next season he finds himself at a different club. And to me, that's it now, because sometimes in football, people can be ignorant, and all sometimes people care about is, well, what did you win? You haven't won anything. Like, how many times did we hear I think like a big example of this would be David Moyes when he got the Man United job. He done really good with Everton, took over Everton. They were pretty much a relegation side. He got them into top 4 Champions League, got them up at the top end of the table. But people always said, well, he hasn't won anything. What's his credentials? He's never won a trophy. And people don't really care sometimes if you manage like one of the worst teams in the league. They always still judge you on, well, you haven't won anything.
Yeah.
As some notes get scrumpled up in the background there. But
I should put them in the Hall of Fame.
Stephen Robinson has now won something. Not only has he got 3 top 6 finishes, but he's got a cup as well to back that up.
I think the key thing is the league's not been that good this season, but what's he followed it with? A trophy. It's great job for Robinson. That can't be forgotten about. Yeah, it's fun to rip the piss out of Celtic, but St Mirren won the day. Got to bear that in mind, and Paisley will be a very happy place tonight.
But they might miss out on top 6. But they will not be in a relegation fight. They'll be fine.
And you'll take that. You take one. Fuck, I'd take probably winning a trophy and finishing in the bottom.
The lowest possible position St Mirren can finish in will be 8th, and I think they'll finish higher than that.
I agree. But anyway, folks, we'll leave it there. St Mirren 3, Celtic 1.
I would have put top 6, but Aberdeen unfortunately seem to be putting together a bunch of good results. Don't think we'll be talking too much about that game, but they did pick up a late win against Kilmarnock. And Stuart Kettlewell, he could be the next manager to... Who's going to win the sack race? Stuart Kettlewell? Or Wilfried Nancy?
It's just...
Because remember it was between Presley, Thielen and Martin. Who's it between now? Must be Nancy and Kettlewell.
I wonder... Tony Bloom has got to get the checkbook out, right? Fucking the 49ers have got to... I don't know... reached in the back of the San Francisco 49er couch and pull out some money. Celtic are weak right now. It's undeniable. This is a fucking crisis point. You can't lose 3 games of this magnitude in a row and pretend it's not. But not the thing is, not to bring everyone back to earth, they win their 2 games in hand in the league. They're level on points with Hearts. Are they going to do it though?
Yeah, but you know what? I think under a good Celtic team, you'd pretty much, it'd be a gimme almost. You'd be like, you expect them to. I actually don't expect Celtic to win their next 2 league games, especially not
that guy on the
George.
screen right now, right? Jim Goodwin is doing punditry. He has got a chance to fucking end it all, man. To Tannadice on Wednesday. What a game that'll be. Anyway, leave it down below. I'm sure a lot of people will be missing. They were missing over the weekend. I'm sure they'll be fucking missing the night.
Where are they? Come on, come out. I thought the Hearts bubble would burst. No, Hearts are sitting top of the table, 6 clear. St Mirren are lifting trophies. Celtic don't know what a trophy is. Last 2 cup finals have been absolutely smashed. It's been pissing down with rain. It's been pissing down with Callum McGregor tears. It's great.
He was great today, wasn't he, Callum McGregor?
No, where was he?
Who?
No, him.
Who?
Cal Mac who?
Who?
Anonymous, where was he?
Who?
Where was he?
Nowhere. Anyway,
What did he do? He was shite, and we'll prove it, guys, because the player ratings will be coming out soon. But it's a great Sunday, absolutely fantastic. Fair play to Stephen Robinson. I like the guy, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he is at a bigger club next season.
Brilliant.
The bubble has burst, but for who, Chris Kamara? Well, it's certainly no the men in maroon, it's no the Jambos, it is the Nonce boys, because we've got Nonce now with 4 defeats in a row. Not going too good for him. He came in, he replaced Martin O'Neill. They'd been better off keeping the 73-year-old Martin in there, because Nonce, he's playing like a 173-year-old manager, man. No tactics, no clue, no wins. Life is great.
It is utterly fantastic. I mean, I don't even know where to begin here, folks. I mean, I was half saying earlier, maybe a draw would be better because it keeps this guy in a job longer. See what I felt there? Seeing those celebrations at 2-1. Look at Chris Boyd. That's a happy man sitting there in his wee turtle.
Hello, we are the Nonce boys. Hello.
Keep him in a job. I think he needs more time.
Yeah, listen, Nonce came in, new to the country, had only managed in North America. You got to give this guy time, right? Culture, it's a new culture, new setting, new location. Guy needs time to settle in, right? You can't be making harsh decisions here, right? You need knee-jerk reactions.
At least a decade.
Give him. I know he needs another 6 months minimum.
Take it. I mean, honestly though, like people were hanging on to, but the style he plays. If we go 1-0 up, then it could be curtains for teams. See, first half, hands up, they were good. Second half, they were awful.
You say it could be curtains. They went 1-0 up, but in the second half, those Russell Martin curtains got pulled across Nonce, and it was like back to square one, back to where he was in the previous 3 games, getting beat. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. That is 4 games now for Nonce, and it's 0 wins. I mean, on aggregate, what is it? It's something. It's incredible.
It is 10-3.
10-3 on aggregate.
I said this so in the video earlier, was it Peter Law, whatever further I made, there was going to be goals in this game. Because Celtic under Nonce, they're toothless going forward, but they're conceding buckets of goals. And they didn't take their chance in the first. So I'm not surprised Dundee United have won. Even though Dundee United are on a shite run. This could have happened in our wildest dreams, man. See for Celtic to lose 4 games in a row.
No, even Stephen Presley could have dreamt this up. This is incredible. Incredible.
No, it is, and like we said, we saw the first half, didn't see much of the second half, apart from like the last 25 minutes. Hands up, didn't even see a Dundee United goal, but did I give a single fuck? They went in, that's all that matters.
Yeah. As long as they count, I don't need to see them to believe them. As long as there's a wee 2 beside Dundee United, and by the way, there's a 2 staying next to Celtic because they do not get 3 points, they don't close the gap to Hearts, and now we're looking at a situation where their 2 games in hand now becomes 1 game in hand. And I mean, it's drastically changed. A few weeks ago, momentum was with Celtic. I think they would have been heavy favourites to win the title. I think they would have been back to, honestly, probably about 1-5, 1-6, 1-7, something around that region. And in the space of a few games, the league has been blown wide open. You've got Danny Rowe, who's beginning to go on another winning run after 2 draws. Because at that point, Danny Rowe draws 2 games, Hearts are going through a shaky period with just 1 win in 6, and Martin O'Neill is getting Celtic over the line in every single domestic game. So it looked like the tide was turning. It looked like Celtic were probably going to, return to the top of the table and then move on from there. But Nonce's came in, he's had different plans. I mean, maybe this guy thinks as long as you're in the top half of the table, you can still fight for the championship in the playoffs. Maybe that's what he thinks. Maybe he thinks
good old NFL.
Yeah, maybe he thinks a top 6 finish that'll get him into the playoffs.
Well, Patrick Mahomes did make the playoffs, so it looks like Celtic aren't.
What was it, Wilfried? At this rate, at this rate, will Wilfried Nonce make the playoffs?
I don't think he will. No, but Sutton said it best.
Won't make Christmas.
He says most of the season they've been second best, but tonight they looked third best. And here, say what you want, right? I think the night, it makes Sunday, which was massive. If Hearts go and put Rangers to the sword, it is undoubtable the Hearts are favourites. I think if Rangers put Hearts to the sword, then here, Rangers, I wouldn't say Rangers are favourites if they beat Hearts, but obviously it opens it up even further. But do you not agree though, if Hearts beat Rangers, Hearts are the favourites? I know Celtic could beat Aberdeen, but which they probably will, because he needs to get a result.
No, I don't agree with that. I think Celtic are still favourites for the title.
No, I think tonight's swung in Hearts' favour. They are hopeless looking.
Yeah,
if this guy lasts his they were talking about earlier, and after Peter Law spoke, saying like, oh, we've already looked at January targets and the next summer targets for Nancy.
Aye, but they would have been assuming that results pick up between now and January.
No, I'm telling you, man. I think Hearts are favourites for me.
I don't know.
Wear that on your back.
I think a defeat at the weekend against Aberdeen and this guy's job is in serious question.
Well, I think it's got a big question. I think you've got to sack him. Not honestly.
No, he's not getting sacked after the night, but I think he could on Sunday.
No, we can laugh and joke, right? But I wanted Martin gone after 2 games. I think this guy, for me, if I was in charge of Celtic, I'd have sacked him after St Mirren.
Nobody gets sacked after 2 games unless you're Ten Hag. That's not right, though. No matter how bad someone looks, they shouldn't be getting sacked after 2 games. You've got to give people a chance. It's fucking incredible to sack someone after 2
I'll
games.
defend Nancy. Ange was pretty shite until he got signings in, correct? Look at.
No, I wouldn't say so. No, not really. I mean,
right, yes, he beat the better signs under Ange, but the point was Ange at the start was having to play a shite team.
Yeah, but after 7 games, Ange kicked on and was pretty much unstoppable.
I'm trying to look for positives for this guy because he's deactivated his Twitter the day. Which is, by the way,
delete it after tonight.
He's confirmed that it was him. And I mean, first his wee tactics boards disappeared, now his Twitter account's disappeared. Well, what's the next going to disappear?
Celtic's hopes of winning the title are disappearing.
Of course, you're the fucking favourite. So
well, they are favourites. I mean, come on.
I think I'm actually going to. I'm saying Hearts.
Hearts, champions elect. Hearts.
I'm on the Hugh Keevins fucking bus.
Oh, that bus is getting full. You've got Hugh Keevins on it. You've got Andy Halliday on it. I'm about to step on it. And
you're waiting.
And you're
stuck the hand out.
You're about to purchase a first class ticket on the Jambos Express.
The Jambos Express.
Is that you advocating?
I'll take self-sabotage.
Are you advocating for Rangers to lay down on Sunday?
Of course not. Fuck it, no. That was only if fucking Celtic were good and capable of winning this league. But tonight's made me go, they're a bit shite.
Do we have a 3-way title fight?
I'd go 2.
Is it possible? You Evans was saying
I'd say 4. I think Motherwell.
If
they can stop getting draws.
Hugh Evans was saying it, and people kind of laughed at him. He says that by the time Rangers play Celtic on January 3rd, Rangers will be ahead, and then he thinks a defeat in that game will get Nancy fired.
Rangers could be ahead come
Sunday,
2:00. Could be 2-0 or something, and they'd be in front of. Well, actually, I don't know about goal difference, but Celtic's goal difference is getting annihilated here. I know they've only lost 2-1 the 2 games in the league, but that's another thing. Hearts took away a wee couple of games under O'Neill. But folks, there's no way about this. Is unprecedented. That's since 1978.
Right, second half. I mean, 2-1 down. We're watching the game.
Great goal from Ida though in the first half.
I mean, he hits the post from about 3 yards out. I mean, come on, what's he doing? What is he doing? He must score that. He doesn't, and that was really it. I mean, Celtic did launch some balls into the box late on. You had a Niagara free kick, and that went over the bar. He persisted with the 3-4-3. It's just it's not even an exciting watch, and I can't really recall this guy saying he was going to play, brilliant, attractive looking football. I'm pretty sure Russell Martin claimed that, and it just never happened. I don't know if this guy's ever come out and claimed that he's going to play good football, but he has suggested that performances matter just as much, if not more, than results. But you're not seeing it. You're not seeing. See, when Ange came in, you seen I seen good signs under Ange. I said after match day 2 they'd win the league. But you're seeing nothing here. Hee-haw.
Right, well, I think we've got a bit. See, right, I said earlier we're going to put the pot between Martin and Nancy. I don't think we can even put up now. I genuinely think if you believe that Nancy has done better at Celtic than Russell Martin did at Rangers, even though Russell Martin was over a prolonged period, Martin didn't lose games. He lost 1 to Hearts, right? And say you want, a draw's a disaster. What's a defeat? A catastrophe. He's had fucking 4 on the points.
Yeah, you could argue
Martin took Rangers to the Champions League playoffs, albeit completely embarrassed, right? And he should have got sacked for me after the Bruges game. And drew far too many games. But see if Nancy drew all these games and say he lost to St Mirren on penalties, right? At least it's not getting... They're not just playing pish. They're looking... But look at the state of that 11 I called out in the members feed. The back 5 is McCoy, Yang, Ralston, Tierney, Trusty. What the fuck's that?
That's bogging. That's what that is. It's hard to tell because you've only got 4 games, so you haven't got a big.
You've got a back 5 and only one guy's in his right position. Trusty. I know Tierney can play there, but he's a left back. Yang and McCoy are not fullbacks.
Maybe there's not enough evidence, but he could very well be the worst Old Firm manager of all time.
To think we've got both back to back for a couple of months is insane.
Well, you'd have to try. You know what I mean? I think you'd have. I'm not defending Martin, but I don't know. Is it undoubtedly that he is the worst Rangers manager of all time, or is there other people in the contention?
I mean, people go to Cassina, Le Guin.
Some people go to Beale, which is insane when you look at his win percentage.
I ain't going to entertain Beale. I mean, Beale's another guy, by the way, that loved his wee Twitter gimmick, burner accounts. I mean, I think Nonsy's going to need his fucking burner accounts because who's going to be backing him? No one's going to be backing him. No. We've listened to quite a few people talk about Nonsy, like the Celtic fans on here and in our comments. Super Scoreboard, you get the odd one that says, I'm still backing him, but he needs to beat Dundee United. I do not see how you can have a Celtic fan backing this guy. There is nothing. You can't go off 45 minutes. It's one thing bragging about outplaying Real Madrid. You can't go off 45 minutes on the back of 3 defeats and then still lose the game. What he says in his post-match interview, for me, will determine how long he will get. If he comes out and continues to bang the drum of, here, doesn't matter about trophies, I have nothing to prove, and winning or losing doesn't matter, it's about the performance, then I think he's gone.
I don't agree with his I've nothing to prove comments.
Whenever everything to prove.
Whenever you start a new job...
If Martin O'Neill came in and said, I've done it, I've nothing to prove, I'm simply here to do this, then fair enough. But this guy's done hee-haw.
It doesn't matter whether it's football or your average everyday life. If you start a new job, what you've kind of done in your previous job is irrelevant. You're being hired by someone and you've got something to prove to them. They've taken a chance on you and you need to pay them back.
It's arrogance, I think.
No, but it's like that. You could have like the greatest striker of all time and then a club sign him and he says, I've got nothing to prove, and turns out to be fucking shite. It's like, well, who cares about what you did before? It's about what you do now. And Nonsense doing nothing now.
No, but it's great. Just a shame I can't really listen to the fallout here. I wish I could fucking talk about it all night, but we don't have that. But here, I don't give a shit. It's great. I seen someone on Twitter say, enjoy it, troops, because this guy will be sacked by the new year. I'm beginning to think that. We ran through the fixtures. I mean, apart from that Aberdeen game, they're away to Livy. I mean, Davy Martindale is going to run rings around this guy. He's going to be able to fix the TV at halftime and still beat him. That Jens Burko-Asku, he's going to come up with some fucking formation that's going to make this guy look like a diddy.
109 or some fish like that and smash him.
Yeah, it's over. You can't come back from this. You can't.
No.
It's got to the point now where if he beats Aberdeen, it's like Celtic beating Aberdeen at home is one of the most foregone conclusions you can get, unless Celtic want Rangers to finish third.
How many games would he need to win in a row to get the fans back on side?
We'll put it this way, say he won every single game till that Old Firm game. If he lost that, it would be irrelevant.
Because it's like Martin, he got to a point where it didn't matter if Martin went on a good run or not.
It's over.
It wouldn't have mattered because the fans had just, given up on the guy. And I know it's only 4 games, but I think the fans have given up on Nonsi. Feel sorry for the guy coming in, new country, new club. It's different though. I mean, it is. People can say, see these people that say MLS is a higher standard than Scotland. It's not the same. It's really not, man. See the MLS and the Saudi League. It's almost not real football, and that's not me being ignorant. It's the truth, man.
You might have better footballers, right? But you don't everything else is worse.
Yeah, you might
like Messi and Ronaldo are still better than our best players.
Yeah, you'll have better technically gifted players because the money's there. But in terms of knowledge, no, honestly, I would say that the best man. No, unless there's a manager, I don't know all the managers in the MLS, right? Maybe there's someone who's really good and retired or whatnot. But I'd need to see. But see if it's just American or North American managers that haven't retired and haven't went there for the payday. I would argue that the worst manager in the Scottish Premiership, take out Nonsi by the way, The worst manager in the Scottish Premiership
Gonna have to.
would be better than the best manager in the MLS.
I would agree.
And I stand by that. There will not be a better North American domestic manager than there will be a manager for Scotland.
I think Noncy will, in his backroom team, I think they will be flabbergasted by the Wilfried Noncy get to fuck. Even look at England, right, in European... I'm not saying... Yeah, don't listen to too many other European leagues,
No,
right?
but see
in England, you associate them... It's like... It'd be like... Arsene Wenger, we want you to go... It would be something like that, which is very... You know, it's PG, so to speak. But here, it's like, no, fuck you, get out the door.
How do you think this guy's reacting to that?
Yeah, well, he had a ball at full time. I think he needs to take it and go home. 'Cause it's over. It will be... It's a disaster. Honestly, right? The only thing that can save Celtic's season...
A beautiful disaster.
Yeah, it is. The only thing that can save Celtic's season is if Martin O'Neill comes back. See if Martin O'Neill sticks the middle finger up at these guys and they bring... Where do they go? Do you ask the Honda Civic to do a 180 for Saudi?
And is... Oh, aye, because he's going to do anything. And will Noncy be allowed time? Will he be allowed to make
I was referring to Gerrard.
Will he be allowed to make a decision, or are the Celtic fans going to force him out? Are they going to go to his home?
Who knows?
They're going to attack him.
Aye. 4 years ago, Peter Lawwell firebombed, but it's free motors. You wouldn't even bother your arse firebombing a Honda Civic.
Nah, man, it's disgraceful. But we'll see. You know, this guy's getting dogs abuse, doesn't deserve it.
I'm glad to see other Celtic fans calling out the treatment of Peter Lawwell.
Yeah, disgraceful as well, the way he was treated. The manager, they don't deserve this. Then yeah, you can be passionate like it, but it's a game of football at the end of the day.
No, I just find it...
I don't like the way Russell Martin was getting treated, and I don't like the way this guy's getting treated.
I just find it funny, though, that people seem to think that them issuing threats to Peter Lawwell's not possible when his cars have literally been firebombed at his fucking house before. Of course, a verbal threat is going to be...
Yeah, Rogers got his house attacked as well.
Yeah, I read it. So, yeah, Celtic fans are probably going to spiral out of control. The small minority to that level, and the majority will hear their wee meltdowns, their tears. It'll be great. It's about time because, honestly, see the 180 this season. I know Celtic have not really been great at any point in this season, but I was resigned to the fact the league was over. Back in August.
I mean, I
was
think,
depressed.
I blame Rogers.
Yeah, I think Rogers put this shitstorm in motion.
Rogers, I know that the Celtic fans and the board have always had a bit of a frosty relationship. I think
he poured the flames on it.
Yeah, he poured the gasoline on this.
The
shit.
flames on it. The gasoline.
he poured the gasoline on the flames.
The flames.
And yeah, it's so toxic at Celtic Football Club now. It is insane. The fans hate the board. They obviously have no time for Noncy. They want him to go. It's not good for them, but you know what? It's pretty good for the other 11 teams in the league. So we're actually you're getting to a point now where Celtic's everyone's gimme.
Aye.
You're look everyone see. Oh, what Livy need 3 points. So when do we play Celtic? Let's look at this fixture list here.
For me, it just cements Martin O'Neill as one of the greatest Celtic man. I know he was already that, but for me, it puts him well above Rodgers because it just proves what he was able to do with this team. I mean, people will hang on, oh, but if Celtic played 4-3-3, I mean, there's no guarantee Celtic play 4-3-3 and win all these games. I think it's just the fact this guy's shite and then the personnel's also not that good. They have been fucked with injuries, I'll admit that, but anyway, we'll leave it there. There'll be more fallout.
Prediction here, let's say Celtic, quick prediction, let's say Noncy can't win any games. Let's say that every game he manages, he will lose. Not a big loss, but a narrow loss. Let's just say it's going to be a 2-1 loss every time he manages a Celtic team.
It's Sunday.
Sunday
night fever.
That's it. No, when would he be sacked? When
Monday morning, Sunday night. So he's gone if he loses Aberdeen.
So that's it.
Yes.
He can't survive one more defeat.
No.
5 in a row's done.
I think. Yes. I don't even know their next. I think their next game's away to Levy. Or is it away to Motherwell?
So you don't know. So you think Aberdeen, you think there's no way. You think that if he loses to Aberdeen, he is 100% signed and delivered, gone?
He's gone.
Contract ripped up.
You can't lose 5 games in a row. He was the first guy to lose 2, let alone 5.
You don't think he'd get to the Wednesday, no?
I'd let him.
Is it not at Pittodrie?
No, it's at Celtic Park.
Aberdeen's Scottish Cup winners, though.
No, it's over.
Some people say third biggest club in the country.
I am just looking forward to everything to follow, man. This has made my night. This is absolutely fantastic.
Well, anyway, guys, I think that can he survive a loss to Aberdeen? I think he can, but I tell you what, if he gets sacked against Levy, then I do think that would be the final nail in the Noncy coffin. Like, I think that would be him out. But we'll see. He is the manager right now. It is very possible. Will he make it to Christmas? 2 defeats,
When
and
is
I
Christmas?
say no.
He's only got one game before Christmas.
Well, I thought Levy was...
No, Livy's after Christmas. 27th, I think. Is it? I'm pretty sure it is. Aye, because there's no games between the 21st and the 27th, so... Which is shite, by the
maybe
way.
on Boxing Day I'll be boxing up his things and leaving Celtic Park.
All I ask for Christmas is this guy gets like an ironclad contract and he can't go anywhere.
Anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, though, peace.
Night, despite a fantastic opening 4 games as Celtic manager, Wilfried Noncy, he had to get things right eventually, and none better than having to face Livy and Aberdeen, probably the 2 worst teams in the league. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Wilfried Noncy getting the full soap up here. Earlier we had a 5-goal thriller. Tonight we got a 6-goal thriller, but the big question is, Jambo Bear, which one felt worse?
Well, I don't know, this one felt pretty good after 7 minutes.
It did. I mean, it felt good after a minute. Then it felt good after 7 minutes. And then pretty much from about the 10th minute onwards, it felt a bit bogging.
Yeah, I mean, Livy will not have a better opportunity to beat Celtic than they got today. Went in front early, basically conceded straight away, then went in front again, and you're thinking, right, okay, and then literally they conceded again. I don't think I've ever seen this before. I can't ever recall a team playing Celtic taking the lead twice in the opening 10 minutes and not being able to hold on to it.
No, it was quite surreal.
And I know it's not. I don't expect that to happen often because, let's be honest, 4 goals. Isn't it more often than not you don't get 4 goals in a game, and it's very rare you get 4 goals in the first half, and it's very rare
You might get
you get 4 goals in the first 10 minutes.
like 4 goals from the same team would be more likely within a 10-minute spell because of like domination or whatever. But for both teams, very weird. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to take for this game.
As good as Livy started, and as impressive as it was that they scored 2 goals, the goals they conceded were really poor. Really fucking poor. I think the 2 goals that they concede almost undoes their good start.
Yeah, Martindale was on about how he's managed Slivy teams in the past to like 1-0 wins over like the Old Firm, and I just don't. That Livy team is bogging at the back. We've got some decent guys going forward. Can't take that away from them, but I think there's numerous things to take for this. I think Livy are fucked, by the way. See when 40-year-old baldy Stevie May is run about the pitch. He may as well be called Stephen, by the way. It's done. This guy was relevant in 2013. Look how much the world's changed for the worse, mind you, in the past 12 years. It's done, right? Stevie May is done. Stevie May sums up the planet. It's mince. And he's mince. And when I see him running about... Well, no, what age is Stevie May? Guy must be in his late 30s. Or has he just been done for a lot more than I thought in his better years?
No, I don't think. I think Stevie May's just his prime didn't really last that long. I'd say Stevie May is probably around. I mean, I'd say he was in his early 20s back in 2014, 15. I imagine he's probably
34.
I think he's about 35, 36.
Well, fair enough, but I mean, I think to take for this game as well, Celtic very weak at the back, man. The Celtic team's always going to concede goals, and I feel like in the past, when Celtic go two goals up against, we didn't actually get to see the Celtic Aberdeen game last week. Seen the highlights, but watching this game today, I don't feel like this Celtic team under Noncy are going to be like a goal or 2 up and feel like they're ever in control. It felt like it was on a knife's edge, just that Livy didn't have anybody up front. When Montano was alright, he grabbed 2 goals. When Stevie May's pish, but do you think it just lacked an element of control?
No, absolutely. Normally,
It's gun-ho football.
without a defence.
Yeah, but this should have played into Davy Martindale's hands. Normally, Livy
I think
teams.
it did though.
Well, I mean, it obviously didn't because Livingston got the 2 early goals and conceded straight away. We've seen Livy in the past that when they're difficult to break down, and when they do get a goal up, they're able to hold on to it, like you spoke about. Martindale's talked about how he's the master of 1-0 wins,
but Celtic though.
But I mean, I'm talking about Livy. I'm from a Livy perspective. Holy shit! I cannot believe they got 2 goals in the opening 10 minutes and conceded literally a couple minutes later.
Why is that to you though? Why? What is the prime reason for that?
I mean, maybe nonsense football. Maybe you need to take the positives with the negatives. Maybe
do you think
maybe they're so good going forward, but at the same time they're so bad defensively.
Martindale thought we could attack that and not suffer too much?
Possibly. Now here, Livy had success. They scored 2 goals in the opening 7 minutes, and they had chances to score more. But at the end of the day, I mean, they conceded 4, and you're never going to beat Celtic by conceding 4 goals.
No. Especially if you're Livy. Right, 1-0 Montano, top left-hand corner. Brilliant finish. No complaints for me. I mean, defending's a bit shite, but yeah, I think for most of these goals, the defending's shite. Benjamin Nygren makes it 1 each. Header, flick on, back post, good night. Nygren has took pelters all season. Me and you have defended him. Celtic fans have no defended him.
Yeah, I don't understand this. Nygren, has the guy performed every game? No. But who has in a Celtic shirt? He got brought in for 1.5 million, maybe close to 2 or whatever, right? But it was a small amount in comparison to what Celtic could spend. And his numbers are, even if Nygren was dog shit, even if the guy was performance wise was dog shit, I think he's contributed enough with his numbers alone, with his assists and with his goals. His goal contribution is actually pretty damn good. Yet for some reason, this guy seems to get a lot of abuse. I mean, what about Engels? Why does Engels always get away with shit, but people pick on Nygren? Is it purely because of the price tag?
Could be. No, I don't understand it. Nygren gets pelters.
You take Nygren into the Celtic team and they're a lot worse.
Absolutely, but it was 2-1 to Livy not long after this. Montano again, great finish. I mean, piss poor defending. I mean, you could just put that on fucking repeat, couldn't you? Who is that? That Davy Martindale?
Unfortunately not, no.
John Beaton rung him up. Now he's ringing up Fog
What's
football.
that? John Beaton says, "Oh wait, I got it wrong. I apologise. It wasn't a penalty." Ah, well, there you go.
Might be getting a similar phone call after this game. Yang made it 2 each. Again, awful. So Celtic have a shot. There's a scramble for it. Runs in.
I mean, you say awful, but it's a bit unfortunate as well.
It's awful, man. No. How Livy have not been able to get to this before the guy for the right wing runs in and gets it, then goes round about 10 people and pokes it into the back of the net. It's a fucking disgrace. I'm not having any other way about it. Is it slightly unfortunate? Aye. But is it bogging? Aye. Not having it. See, when Yang is sitting half your team down, then you need to sit down and have a word. Right, so that makes it 2 each. Yang then had another opportunity. He blazed it over. It was a goalmouth scramble, and Nygren, after the end of this, managed to smash it in off the post. Great finish. Again, a double for Nygren, and we then have the contentious decision of the Finlayson penalty. Was it a penalty for you?
No.
Why not? Present your case.
I just don't think there's enough in it.
You don't think there's enough in it?
I don't. It's not a shot at goal. I don't think the ball's going to go in. I believe the contact from Maida as well has caused the handball to happen in the first place.
I think if there's no contact from Maida,
I don't think he handballs it
due to the consistency they have to show.
Yeah, but I think if there's no contact from Maida, he doesn't handball it. So,
and people are like, "Oh, but I wouldn't even call it a shove." Rewatch it, guys. Right, Maida shoves him. The guy jumps and he falls over due to Maida shoving him. Let's not pretend.
Yeah, see when you're jumping or when you're balancing yourself to prepare to jump, all it takes is a slight nudge and that can really, move.
Martindale said if we wouldn't get that penalty, I'd fucking 100% agree with him. And that's not me.
Well, look at the penalty they didn't get against Rangers. Holy shit.
Well, yeah, and that's not me.
Holy fucking shit.
And that's not me saying, right, oh, well, that is corruption.
No, but hold on here.
It's a big club bias. Livy don't get this.
Let's look at it fairly. How can Livy concede this penalty today but not get that one against Rangers?
No, it's a disgrace. It's a fucking joke.
No, I wanted someone to tell me how this is a penalty, but the handball that Livy had against Rangers, they didn't get it.
Well, look at it, right? The one at Ibrox was not analysed correctly. John Beaton rung him up, apologised. They glossed over it.
But see this one, I think this one could go either way. Right? I personally don't think it is a penalty, but you know, it does hit his hand. This is not the worst decision I've ever seen.
But see, this is the problem with VAR. I feel like once you slow it down and look at it a million times and you see it hit his hand, then they're going to give it. But see, with foot form, no one cares about this. This is like, fuck. I think this could go either way, this one. It could.
I lean towards no penalty, but I think this one could go either way. But the handball against Rangers, that was a stonewaller. That was 100% a penalty, and Livy didn't get it. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Davy Martindale, he's upset. He says, but see when he says Livy wouldn't have got that if it was the other way. Livy wouldn't have got this. People are like, oh, you can't be saying that. What you alluding to? It's like, oh, it's fucking obvious. Look at the penalty they didn't get against Rangers.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we're not talking of an incident that's flipped, where Celtic get the one that they should have got against Rangers, and Livy don't get this one. Then you'd see the point to it there. But second half, Livy have a handball claim of their own. I don't think it went too far. I don't think they bothered even showing a fucking replay. They might have it 10 minutes later, but at that point it's away. Yenge missed a chance. Montano had a shot saved. I thought Celtic did nothing in that second half, really highlighting their shite bench. But yeah, Livy huffed and puffed. Few opportunities for set pieces, but the game petered out, man. Livy, I mean, say what you want. Yeah, if Celtic were already 3-2 up when the penalty was given, so technically they still would have won, but the game, there's a lot more in the game at 3-2 than at 4-2. And that's how it ended, guys. So yeah, Livy get beat. Celtic get through this one. They close the gap to Hearts. Are you feeling the pressure?
I mean, in the sense that the 3-point lead's been wiped out, yes, but I think there is positives to take from non-Celtic fans in this game, that Livy created a lot of chances. So I'm thinking, what can teams do with real quality up front?
No, I've seen Celtic fans bash this performance on Twitter. I've seen them say it's fun to watch, but it's not it's not sustainable. And it ain't. Celtic, right, probably more often than not will win these sort of games because they've got the quality in most areas to beat like a Livy, right? But you're right, Celtic playing like this against like a Hibs, a Hearts, teams that have actually got the quality in the final third, they'll concede goals, and it's alright saying, oh well.
But it was fun to watch. Like, I'm not going to deny that. It was an entertaining game. Now, don't get me wrong. Second half, I don't think was fun to watch, because at that point I'd just given up any hope that Livy were going to get a result. So,
problem is for Nancy and all the other games, so they haven't been able to score. So if he gets another game where he can't score, every game he's conceded. Every game.
One positive is though, I mean, the second half they never conceded.
No.
I mean, so in most of his games, you know, they've been doing alright first half, and then second half, that's when it seems to fall apart.
Yeah, I don't know how fucking low the bar is though. You didn't concede any more on the 2 goals you conceded.
Tell you what, it was a decent win though, because they went behind twice in the opening 10 minutes, and I mean, I'm sure on both occasions Nancy's thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. And it could have been a disaster had Celtic lost today. Then their win against Aberdeen means absolutely nothing, and once again massive pressure on the guy. But you know what, they responded pretty well. They got in front, and that's it. So I mean, good win for Celtic.
What the fuck just happened there?
I tell you what, I'd rather watch Celtic than watch Rangers right now.
What's that been disallowed for?
Well, let's see here. Are you not?
I thought you were. When's that about a real Michael Stewart? I can't stand Michael Stewart. Is it not up to the goalie where he boots the ball?
Yeah. How far? So hold on. How far do you need to be away for the goalkeeper to not be considered blocking?
The whole... No, see the overprotection that goalies get, man. It's actually embarrassing.
I think that's a genuinely good goal there for Dundee United. It's been ruled out.
Is that actually in the rule book that you're not allowed to be within?
So why do players do it? They do it all the time.
Yeah, how many times do you see players do it?
I've seen players do it and actually score and it counts.
I think that's a referee's preference kind of thing. Anyway, Levy 2.
You remember that time Thierry Henry actually
I
pretty much took the ball out of Barthez' hands?
Aye. I don't understand. Yep. Anyway, fuck it. Celtic won. We've got 2 more games to review. But a shite weekend, isn't it?
Aye,
Is
yeah.
it a weekend? I don't even know it. Is it Saturday? Doesn't
Right.
feel like it.
It can do you. It's Saturday. It's not a beautiful Saturday though.
Wilfried Nancy keeps his job as Celtic finally get a win under the Frenchman's regime. Welcome back to Fog Football. Celtic 3, Aberdeen 1. It looked like Nancy, well here, it looked like he was going to get sacked, let's be real, when it was 1 each. Would he have got sacked if it ended in a draw? I'm not actually convinced, but the fact of the matter is this, they didn't end in a draw because Tierney and James Forrest stepped up with goals at the end, but it looked like it was only going one way, and it looked like it was heading towards more drop points, and not because Aberdeen were the better team. No, Aberdeen were not the better team. It would have been, I was going to say daylight robbery, but it did. The sun did set during this game, but it was actually insane the amount of times that Celtic hit the crossbar, hit the post, missed easy chances, and that's kind of been what's happened under Nancy. If we're being honest about things, like, they have created a lot of chances, they just haven't put them away. And yeah, not to rain on this guy's parade, but I wonder what would have happened in this second half if Aberdeen didn't go down to 10 men. Now, Mitov, who made a couple of great saves, right, but let's just call it Mitov. The guy's fucking shit. Seeing it comes to his passing it for the back abilities, the guy just needs to hoof it long. That is 2 games back to back where you've witnessed Sparta Prague and now Celtic, where this guy gives up goals like no tomorrow, and it's not just those 2 games, it's all season. Mitov's a good shot stopper, but his distribution is brutal, it's horrific, and yeah, Celtic were dominating, but fuck knows, Aberdeen, it's the last thing you need it, right, to go down to 10 men at 1-0. Absolutely so avoidable. But in terms of the starting 11 that Nancy went with, again, 5 at the back, you saw the likes of Yang and McCoyan in there. It was drastically different. Well, not drastically different. I mean, this is what the guy's been persisting with his entire managerial career so far. McCoyan and Yang as the full backs, Engels and McGregor in the middle of the park, Nygren and Maida behind Johnny Kenny, and again a back three consisted of full backs rather than centre backs, apart from Austin Trusty. But Aberdeen, is it any wonder though that Jimmy Thielen is the guy to fall against Celtic's, well, Wilfried Nancy's Celtic? Probably not, man. I mean, Aberdeen have got plenty of quality to cause that Celtic problems, but they had a couple of corners early on, but all the early chances were for Celtic. Armstrong picked up a booking as well in there. Mitov gives it to McGregor, and then Engels blazed over. So it wasn't just one example of Mitov just passing it straight to a Celtic player. There was countless. Absolutely countless. Nygren made it 1-0. Dyson Maida grabs a wee assist here. Finds Nygren, who's took pelters all season, but I believe he is Celtic. He's still Celtic's top goal scorer. And then this is the game changer moment for me, because if Aberdeen take it to the second half, right, or the half time, 11-11, then just based off what's happened recently, they've got a chance, because Celtic have played well in the first half but collapsed in the second. But you go down to 10 men, can't even remember who the hell gets sent off. But point is, Mitov booted it to Maida, and Maida gets brought down. There's no complaints here, it's a red card. Aberdeen just taking the pressure off Nancy here. But going into the second half, Celtic didn't take the pressure off Aberdeen, because Aberdeen were getting bombarded. Mitov saved a trusty header, and then he saved the combination of that and a McGregor shot. Nygren hit the post. The crossbar was rattled twice. There was crosses getting fired in for Tierney, hitting off the bar post, whatever, you name it. Literally, I think the woodwork was hit about 6 or 7 times in this game. And then Aberdeen get the goal. Johnson
finds Bilivojevic, and it's one each. Kasper Schmeichel, I've seen people bashing him all game, and here yet again, Kasper Schmeichel. I mean, for me, I remember when Schmeichel picked up that injury and Sinisola came in for him at the end of last season, round about then. I thought Sinisola looked alright. I think it's time to phase Schmeichel out, but the problem is he's on those big wages, and will they want to get rid of him? Probably not. Celtic did make subs. You saw the likes of Donovan, Scales, Forrest and Yamada come on, and Colby Donovan set up Kieran Tierney in the 88th minute, and there was only 4 minutes added on, so 6 minutes to go. Tierney made it 2, James Forrest made it 3, McGregor with an easy pass to him grabs an assist, and it's 17 seasons in a row that James Forrest has scored for Celtic in the league. That is an almighty record. That is something that, that's a crazy stat, by the way. But yeah, I mean, on paper, looks like a good win for Celtic. They deserved it, there's no doubt about it, but Wilfried Nancy was about 5 minutes away from probably getting maybe the sack, but unrepairable damage. I mean, some people would already argue it's at that point, but if he drew this game of football, it would have been crazy. It would have made Jambo Bear that ever wee bit happy. It would have made me think, well, we've only lost a point to Celtic, but Celtic, Rangers have lost 3. Celtic still keep Hearts within touching distance. It's been a super Sunday for some and an absolute shite Sunday for others. We'll be back in some capacity later on, but Celtic win 3-1 in the game of football. Wilfried Nancy needed it. I mean, the thumbnail, he is celebrating this win like he's opened 4 shite Christmas presents in a row, and then he's been able to open the granddaddy of them all, and it's like it's what he always wanted, a wee win, and he's got it. And you know what, fair play to Wilfried Nancy, because could have very easily lost this game and been out the door. So till next time, peace.
This could have been a bogging Tuesday, but instead it's a beautiful Tuesday. Welcome back to Fog Football. Motherwell 2, Celtic 0. Jens Burkle Asku, Mercedes Jens. I think I just butchered that guy's name. I don't even care if I butchered that guy's name, because what a day for it. What an absolute day for it. What an absolute fantastic, phenomenal result from a Rangers perspective and a Hearts perspective. Jambo Bear was a happy man, and yeah, I mean, outschooled, I get in there, but eat my special fish, turn the TV on, and what's on? Sports Scene, and it's Kasper Schmeichel picking the ball at the net. Absolutely brilliant. Just completely and utterly outplayed, and we have been saying this for a couple of weeks now about, I mean, Jambo Bear was feeling the fear, right? There's no two ways about it. He saw Celtic beat Aberdeen 3-1. He saw them beat Livy 4-2, but you know, I've been consistent, and there's a lot of Celtic fans that are phoning up Scoreboard, and we're getting comments. I genuinely don't see how Wilfried Nancy continuing to referee this way, my head's gone, to manage it this way and play this way with the 3 centre-backs and 2 of them are full-backs is ever going to win a league. And I honestly mean that. And people can be like, oh, you're talking pish. Once he gets the recruitment in, it'll be alright. Apparently, even at Columbus Crew, he liked playing a left back and a right back in the back 3. I just don't really see where that's going though. Every game Celtic concede. 2 against Hearts, 3 against Roma, 3 against St Mirren, 2 against Dundee United, 1 against Aberdeen, 2 against Livy, and now 2 again tonight against Motherwell, right? And let's not take the piss here, right? Like Roy Hodgson said, let's not take the piss here, right? Every single one of those games that I just talked about, they could have conceded more. Now, obviously, football, right? Rangers could have conceded more than the one tonight, right? Celtic could have conceded more than theirs. St Mirren could have, I mean, obviously, the way football works, there's not really any team that you can argue that they couldn't have conceded more. But what we're talking about here in every single one of these games is clear-cut chances. Like, let's just theoretically put Celtic, right, into this season's Champions League, the last, how many games have Nancy managed now? 7? Let's say Celtic have 7 games there in the Champions League under Wilfried Nancy. How many goals are they shipping? Because if you're conceding 2 against Livy, 2 against Motherwell, and here, that's not me bashing Motherwell, because Motherwell have been fantastic, but we know that they do struggle to score goals. They're one of their top guys away to the Africa Cup of Nations. And they're also without Stephen Welsh tonight, so I think that's a pretty key thing to remember. But pretty much across the board, I thought Motherwell, the stats, Motherwell did everything in this game based off the highlights that Celtic looked to do. Their press works, they trap players, they focus on weaknesses, and I think we've been looking at this game for weeks saying, I've been saying it, Jens Barkolascu was going to be licking his lips at this, and that's exactly what he was doing, man. Licking his lips big time, and here, rightfully so, was big Jens Barkolascu, because he, at the end of the day, what's he turned around and done? He's turned around and got the 3 points. And like I said in my match review of the Rangers game, I think he's fired Rangers into the Motherwell into the title fight. I genuinely believe that. They're 8 points behind Hearts. All right, a game played extra. But look at the last couple of games. The only game that they lost, right? The only goal that they conceded was against Rangers at Ibrox. And that's 8 matches, folks. There's nothing wrong in that from a St Mirren perspective. So for me, I think they're going to live reaction here to me getting this Fernandez goal. First time seeing it. Well, I've seen it at the game, but I couldn't. I think he heads it and it's saved, is it? So Shermeti. Oh no! So Shermeti whips it in, Fernandez hits it at George, and it goes under George. Because when it happened, I seen him get the shot away at the game, but it was slow to react, so I just assumed it was a rebound after he got his header or something, but no, he's actually just went underneath the goalie. I'll be interested to see here actually what this penalty claim was. Not on Gazama, on Tav. Well, I say claim, they got given it. Because I've actually got no idea what was happening there. But anyway, right, like I said, Motherwell put a few players today, and they didn't matter. It did not matter. Celtic absolutely all over the place. Ralston giving the ball away, Kasper Schmeichel giving the ball away, and here, Said makes it 1-0. It's a fantastic ball for Stephen O'Donnell, an absolutely phenomenal ball. Two things, but A, he is given a lot of space, and B, it's just awful defending from a Celtic perspective. Trusty. Let's see, Fernandez. But see how. To me, that is a penalty for St Mirren. Hell, for Fernandez, not Tav. But it's baffling to me how they. There's no buts about it. It is a penalty, but it's baffling to me how they don't fucking give the one against that Livy had a month ago. Anyway, ball whipped in for Stephen O'Donnell. It's a peachy ball, by the way, and Said gets his head on it. But the problem is Ralston and Trusty are just absolutely fucking nowhere near it, folks. Absolutely nowhere near it, and that Mandron goal was a bit bogging, wasn't it, as well? But yeah, Rangers go over the line in the end, but just Celtic constantly giving the ball away, not being able to pass it. There's situations where they would be passing it about, and then under no pressure whatsoever give it away. And again, you can blame. I think the reason they're conceding goals is due to the system. And some of these players are shite, we know this. But at the same time, the passing was good under Rodgers earlier this year, back in January, February. A lot of these players are still here from the Ange era. They could pass a ball a bit. So I don't understand why a lot of these guys have lost that ability. Now, Celtic did line up with a 3-4-1-2. Again, Tierney was in at left wing back, Scales was in there. So again, not one of Scales' better games, but one of the first times in a while that Nancy's referred it to 2 centre backs in the back three. It's just not really working. I mean, I think Sutton said it best during the Dundee United game. He said, in order for this system to work, you probably need your 3 best players to be centre backs, and I just don't see that happening. I don't like. Yeah, maybe I'm talking shite, but you look throughout Scottish football history. It is extremely fucking rare to look at a team or a period and be like, oh, the best players were the 2 centre backs. And that's nothing against centre backs, but especially like because 3 at the backs is kind of unheard of, isn't it? But yeah, Shin Yamada, he had a chance in the second half, couldn't really do anything with it. It was a good save for Ward. In terms of the second goal for Motherwell, Kasper Schmeichel just passes it out. It's a wee bit mince into it, and then Watt puts it into the back of the net. 2-0, and Motherwell never really looked back. It was just constant counter-attacks. Motherwell could have got more in this game. They didn't, sadly, but yeah, they had 11 shots, 6 on target. They did everything that Celtic couldn't in this match, and I think Jens Berkalasku has absolutely schooled this guy. Absolutely schooled Wilfried Nancy, and yeah, he got the pressure off his back there with the last 2 wins. But again, what happens with Wilfried Nancy? I mean, I'm not saying if he beats Rangers, right, that everything's hunky-dory, but you just feel like even if he does beat Rangers, Celtic are just one more result away from another meltdown. And yeah, I've not even been on the socials. I've not had time walking back from the game. But it'll be interesting to see what people are saying on Twitter and what the reaction is. But we'll be diving into Celtic fans' reaction soon. But yeah, Motherwell could have scored more goals. They didn't. Celtic, I mean, yeah, like I said, Shin Yamada had a shot saved, but didn't really look like troubling too much. Thought Hendry and Longello looked lively when they came on. Celtic subs consisting of Donovan, Engels, Yamada, Forrest and Luke McKayan. So, I mean, if you're looking for positive to take for Nancy, I mean, he did make a triple substitution at half-time. Not many managers would do that, but again, Celtic were doing 1-0. Anyway, guys, Motherwell 2, Celtic 0. We'll be back very soon with fans react and all that good stuff. But yeah, what a crazy night of Premiership action.
Nothing will beat that feeling of me getting in with my special fish supper and a single black pudding and just watching the sports scene highlights. Motherwell 2, Celtic 0. Oh wait, something will beat that, because Rangers went and beat Celtic in the next game 3-1.
Wilfried Nancy is the gift that keeps on giving. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. When it comes to baubles on your Christmas tree, they come in all different colours. They come in maroon, they come in blue. But when it comes to bubbles, and it comes to bubbles bursting, there's only one colour, and those are green. And I'm sure there's some snot bubbles as well coming out of Callum McGregor's nose. What has happened to Celtic? They're falling down the table. I believe they're down into third now after this game, and
they're still second.
Well, they're hanging on to second by a fingernail. Give it another week, they'll be down to third. Won't be long before Motherwell overtakes them. Nancy has come in. Martin O'Neill saved the season, and Nancy has come in and he has ruined the season. He is the villain here. Even though he seems like a alright guy, he's certainly taken this club down. It's almost like if this was Titanic, Martin O'Neill seen the iceberg and managed to steer the ship away, and Nancy just came in and pushed Martin O'Neill away from the fucking steering wheel and just did a 180 and re-steered into the iceberg, because that's what's happened to Celtic here.
He's not doing a 180 in a ship would be pretty. That magnitude would be pretty fucking impressive.
It'd be pretty hard to turn it around that space of time, but I tell you what, we talk about managers turning things around quickly. Nancy has turned things around quickly, but for the worse, you know, and we're all for it. We're loving it.
Tell you what, Danny Rowe turned things. The only guy that's turned things quicker is Danny Rowe. Because see, at half time, I'll be honest,
I was saying Danny Rose get 45 minutes to prove to me and many others that he can actually take Rangers forward, because that would have been the third big game where his arse is folded, and I've got to hold my hands up, not only to him, not only to the likes of Yusuf Shermiti, but a lot of that team, because they stepped up. I thought they were shite bags. I thought they were cards in that first
Well,
half.
they kind of were, like you're saying you think they were. I think they actually were cowards, but
Oh, no, they were,
They were
but-
shite.
It's better to be cards in the first 45 than be cards in the last 45 when you can't do anything.
That first half almost reminded me of Creed versus Dragoman in Rocky 4. I mean, Creed just about got out of there with his life intact, and you felt like if he didn't throw in the towel, then it could go drastically wrong. And I felt that was going to be the case for Rangers. Got in at half time, lucky to only be 1-0 down. You're thinking, Butland's had to make some good saves. Celtic have missed chances. Kenny can't finish on another day. Could have been down and out. And then for the first couple of minutes, kind of in the second half, kind of looked like Celtic were starting where they left off, but Rangers get a quick goal back, and then I don't know what happened to Celtic.
Apple crumble.
And we've seen it happen many times under Nonsi, where the second half performance just is nowhere near as good as the first, and that was the case here. I don't even think Rangers were great, but they were good enough to beat Celtic. They were good enough in that second half to.
Seeing years gone by, right? See when Celtic got 1-0 up, for me it almost feels like game over, right? Even though it shouldn't. Partly that's down to how good Celtic have been, and partly that's down to like the Rangers mentality. But we've seen even in the games where they've been 4-2 up against Livy, they've been beating Aberdeen 1-0, or even when they've been beating Dundee United 1-0. There's a fun rebellion about them, even when they're dominating. And they were dominating this game, mate. They could have been about 4 or 5 up, but that's why you're taking the piss. It was fucking disgusting. That Yang goal feels about 15 years ago.
Well, Nonsi's dominating the conversation outside of Celtic Park. They want him gone, they want him out.
It's directed at the board as well, to be fair.
About half the stadium actually left early just so they could get their standing position outside, so they could chant sack the board.
Front row seats.
No, they left early. The dumbasses left early so they could go from chanting sack the board inside the stadium to chanting sack the board outside the stadium. I mean, what difference does it fucking make?
I actually think that might be the only thing that saves Wilfried Nancy's job. I believe Dermot Desmond will honestly want to keep this guy
in spite of the Celtic fans.
Fuck you to the Celtic fans, and I hope he does. Wilfried Nancy, beautiful guy, great manager, and what a man. Honestly.
Yeah,
it's the gift that keeps on giving, as you said. Christmas may be over, but he is spreading more cheer.
Christmas lasts 12 months. Every month's December in Wilfried Nancy's eyes. But yeah, he came in and to me, it just doesn't fit Scottish football. I don't know, maybe it's a language thing as well. But even when he's asked questions about what do you have, what can you say to the fans? What do you want the fans to do? It's just a generic answer. Team will work hard. We will improve, and that's not the answers people are looking for. People don't want to hear that.
No, they don't. You can talk about performance all you want, but see, at the end of the day, see over the course of this 90 odd minutes, who were the better team? I'm probably going to lean towards Celtic in terms of who looked the best at points in the game. You've got to go with Celtic, but who gives a fuck? Rangers won 3-1.
I don't think Danny Rowe's been impressive since he came in. Results in domestically have been pretty good, but I think performances have been, bang average. But I think he
gets found out by every manager, does Nancy. Every single manager in this league's found him out. We've said this in the previous video. The MLS is a pish league. Yeah, they might have better quality of player at the top end, but see, in terms of, they don't care. Soccer, dude. They don't give a fuck.
The games, it's like they're glorified friendlies.
Aye.
You can't. Managing in the MLS for a couple of years, that's not going to prepare you for coming to Scotland.
See this game?
Managing Celtic, where every game you must win.
Rangers were 5-1 to win the day, both teams to score. See if you asked anybody what was the template. Like, see if you asked ChatGPT or AI or Grok to predict this game of football, I think it would have said Celtic will be the better team in the first half, might be winning, Rangers will claw it back due to the recent performances of Celtic and win the game. And that's exactly what happened. They've conceded, they're averaging at 2 goals a game, Celtic. They've conceded 3 here, so that average is probably up to like 2.25 or something along those lines. And for whatever reason, everybody, it doesn't matter, it's a pattern. Even Jimmy Thielen, to a degree, worked it out. They still lost that game 3-1. Question is, if Aberdeen weren't down to 10 men, what would have happened? because they dominated that first half as well, hit the post about 5 times. Levy always felt like they were in that game. There is no way this guy can get kept. It's 8 games now. He can talk about a pre-season, right? 4 or 5 weeks of pre-season. He's been in the job 28 days. That's 4 weeks.
Domestically, in the league, every second half he has, I think every second half it has been worse than the first.
Yep.
I mean, you could argue he scored 2 goals against Aberdeen in the second half, but still, I mean, they were very late.
To win trophies, titles.
Livingston didn't score any goals in the second half. I think Hearts, they were, even though they technically, they drew the second half. I think their best spell in that game came in the first half. Dundee United, they were definitely worse in the second half. I think they were definitely worse in the second half against St Mirren in the League Cup final, and there's no doubt they were worse in the second half here. It's 6 games domestically. He's had 6, hasn't he? 6.
Wilfried Nancy.
Every second half's been worse.
Well, 7 because you include the League Cup final.
Oh well, 7. Is that how many it's been?
It's been that was his 8th game today.
Well,
it was one in Europe.
The 7 domestic games that he's had, every second half has been worse than the first.
See Wilfried Nancy, right? The way he plays, you cannot, and I mean this, right? You fucking quote it, clip it, date you want with it. You cannot win a league the way he plays football. You can't. You all know why you can't. Because his football, due to the burnout in the second half, relies on you being 3 or 4-0 up, and you can't do that every game. No, see if you're every other team in this league, you can be like, see, as long as we keep the score, it's 0-0 or 1-0. See, going into that second half, we've a great chance of getting something, at least something. And the way Celtic play, it's designed to drop points. I'm actually flabbergasted they've not drew any games.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, we can talk about how poor Celtic were in the second half, or how
there's no control. See, to win a league, you need to control games of football. They don't control it. Say you want about Rangers. Rangers under roll. They don't play good football, but they manage games out. They see games out. See if Wilfried Nancy was leading loads of games like 2-1, like Danny Rose got over the line, the 1-0s. They'd be dropping points.
Well, I mean, let's call him out here, because Butland I think he made a mistake for the Yango. I think he should save that, but he made some very good saves in this match. I can't say the same about Kasper Schmeichel. He let in 2 goals. In my opinion, that he should do better, and I don't think he helped Celtic at all.
Nope, because distribution was poor.
Where was the good saves?
I think both performances summed up what both guys have done recently.
I think, even though Butland, I think, should save his, you can say he made up for it.
Aye.
With the rest is all his other saves. Kasper Schmeichel cost 2 goals. Now, I don't really recall him doing anything great. I don't recall him making a big save. And maybe he did, but I don't recall. I think any saves he made was comfortable. I think he should have certainly done better for the second and third goal.
I mean, the first one, I don't think anything's on him on that. I need to rewatch it, but yeah, the second and third goal is definitely on Kasper.
Controversial. People are saying he shouldn't be playing anyway. Some people are saying that Sinisalo deserves a go. If he doesn't get dropped after this, then when will he? I think he should be dropped. I think he's been really poor, and it's a multiple games now in a row where, apart from the one that he wasn't playing, obviously, but I don't know, for me, Kasper, I'd be getting rid of him.
The last thing the Celtic team needs is a guy at the back that's costing them goals every game.
Yeah,
they're costing themselves goals every game, let alone another guy doing it. Thought defending was awful. But anyway, let's get to that first half. Asgard picks up a booking. Right, it's retarded for you, Tello Asgard, because you're getting booked 6 minutes into a game that you need to be going into tackles.
And we know what happened the last time this guy played an Old Firm.
He got sent off, right? Now, the only problem here, there's no consistency. This was a shirt pull. Why didn't the likes of McCoyan and I think it was McGregor, or no, it was Engels, sorry. Why didn't they get booked for a shirt pull? There's no consistency here with the referee, and it's a fucking joke. Raskin prevents a tackle of almost fell to Johnny Kenny. Numerous chances.
Celtic were cutting Rangers open.
Oh, aye. What Celtic were doing was what I kind of expected Rangers to do against their back three, but they did it against our back three.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of times Celtic were bursting forward with the numbers advantage. It was insane, but they just didn't have the quality to finish it. Kenny had a few chances.
Fucking hurt.
Saved by
Danny Rowe getting Fernandes to man mark Engels. That's just idiotic.
Yang was playing really well. Maida was doing no bad as well. And then we get the goal. It's a throw in. Yang takes it. Ball's played back to him. And then he literally just almost walks past like 4 or 5 Rangers players.
No, yeah, this was
and then
disgusting.
blast the ball into the net.
I tweet it. I would rip up every Rangers player who was involved in that bit of play, his contract up, right? It's all good laughing and joking right now, right? But see if Celtic won that game 1-0, I would be fucking. I mean, I'm still livid about it, right? That was disgusting. You can't defend like that in a derby game.
Half-assed challenges and no one got near him.
I know it's Yang, right? And I know Yang's a wee bit pish, but for fuck's sake, man, you can't let anyone do this. See with the way Rangers defended that, me or you or anybody watching this video who's got 2 working legs could have probably got a shot away with the defending that was going on.
I think me or you could have defended better than this, to be fair.
No, definitely, I would have defended, but I'd put my body on the line. Would have been gassed after it, mind you, but I mean, I would have still put my body on the line.
Anyway, it was a good strike for Yang, and it was a good run for Yang, but he was helped out by Butland, and he was helped out by the 4 or 5 outfield players that just never bothered.
But see,
putting in a
I
challenge.
think Butland in his head's probably thinking, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to fucking scream at these dicks who just let him, and then
No, that didn't happen.
And then he couldn't. He was left on 1-1.
There was another ball into the back post. Yang with the header, it beats Fernandes. No, it beats Magoma. Magoma should defend better. Fernandes clears it off the line. I mean, that was it really. Celtic had a lot of I mean, there was a chance for Gazma. Gazma had an opportunity. It was saved by... That was probably the best save. That was the only good thing Casper Schmeichel done. The save from Gazma in the first half.
Yep. Conor Barron had an awful corner.
Oh God, I just
put it straight at Engels, I think.
Well, to be fair, all the corners were pretty shite, but this one was the worst one. Just a low pass, a grass cutter.
What's the opposite? The cream of the crop.
Yeah, I don't know.
On the shite.
Don't know, but just a grass cutter straight to the first man. Embarrassing. Rangers did have the ball in the back of the net, but I mean, about 5 or 6 players offside.
Capital letters here. Schmidt is wank. He took it personally.
Oh, he did, But you know what? Yeah, I'm still not convinced this guy's a good player.
Oh no.
You know, I mean, well, by the way, when we're talking about Casper Schmeichel being shite and what was Austin Trusty's defending all about for that second goal, I do not know.
Let's talk about the first one first, because Raskin does well, takes it off Diamonde, who I thought changed the game. I've been critical of Diamonde, but I thought he was brilliant. He came on, he didn't sneeze, he came on, he played well, goes to Raskin runs down the right, fizzes it across, Schmidt, we tap in. You know what, right? Schmidt, I've bashed him, you've bashed him, we've all bashed him. This is the type of performance that when you spend 8 million quid on a striker, you should be getting. And I'm not saying this to be harsh.
I might need to spend 8 million on Lemsips here. I'm fucking dying. But anyway,
do you not agree though that this should be the regular? He needs to kick on. Can't just be.
No, £8 million should be getting you. But you should be scoring about 2 goals a game.
Yeah. And it isn't me just being harsh on the guy, right? I'm fucking buzzing for him. I'm buzzing for Rangers, the fact we've won, but he needs to kick on now. You know, if Kevin Tellwell wants to put a big bid in, then he can go fucking ahead if he really wants. But brilliant, we tap in here. Butland then saves a Maida shot. That would have made it 2-1 to Celtic. Barron had a shot deflect. The header had a Yang save. No, Header had a header save. And then it was 2-1 Schmidt. Right, awful. Well, it's great for Schmidt. He runs and he runs, but as you pointed out, Austin Trusty, I wouldn't trust this guy to run a bath.
No, I get it. He's in a difficult spot because he is kind of like 2-on-1. So I get that. And but you cannot give the guy on the ball that's closing down on goal this much space. I get it. He's trying to close off the passing lane to, I think it was Barron making the run in the box, but Jesus Christ, he just allows Shermitty to run into the box, and then Shermitty hits a shot.
Do you not think
it's not the greatest of shots because Casper Schmeichel's able to get something on it, but not enough.
Do you think this is because of Shermitty's reputation? Do you think Austin Trusty's thinking in his head, this guy's shite, I'm not...
Nah, I don't think so.
Alright, well,
he's a professional footballer.
Say this is Lionel Messi. I think he closes him down.
I don't think if it's Lionel Messi, he doesn't really have a choice no matter. Messi just run past him anyway.
So down and fucks the top end.
Schmeichel does get a leg on it, but it's not a strong leg, so just
I feel like Casper Schmeichel. I feel like the majority of goals that Celtic concede hit off Schmeichel and go in. I feel like there's never like a goal that's top ends.
Yeah, Celtic then have a chance to equalise straight away. Maida.
Lovely technique for Maida.
Yeah, great technique.
Close but no cigar.
Yeah, I mean, if this goes in, you're waxing lyrical about the guy, but it goes wide.
I wouldn't have been like
well, probably not. No, it goes wide of the post.
Arezzo come on, debut.
Yeah, didn't do nothing but, you know.
No, I think he played one ball in behind, it was alright, but apart from that, most people expect this guy to start. I'm surprised he didn't, but at the same time I'm not, because you can't just get fired into this game.
No, let's talk about the third goal then for Rangers. The
Diamonde into Mikey Moore, and he sits down Kasper Schmeichel, who just let it into the back of the net. There is honestly nothing brings me more joy than seeing goals go past Kasper Schmeichel. It hits like crack.
Well, the best one was McLean.
Oh, yeah, McTominay, Shankland, Tierney. I mean, the past couple of weeks, man, the goals.
Kasper Schmeichel's fucking shite. All we've heard for the past 2 years is, Celtic have the best goalkeeper in the league. That to me, that argument is not an argument anymore. That's been put to bed.
And you know what? I think he prances around the place
like he's a god. Like he fucking owns the show.
No,
he thinks he's better than he is.
No, who he thinks he is? This is his dad. He thinks he's Peter. No, he does. No, see this guy. He won. All right, he won a Premier League and he won an FA Cup. I'm not saying the guy's had a bad career. He's had a pretty good career, right? But I think he walks about like he owns the place, like he's considered on the level like an Oblak or a Casillas or something. Someone at that level, a Petr Cech. You know your role. You concede goals for fun.
I mean, Celtic have had great keepers over the years. This guy's not one of them.
No, I like Joe Hart. I think got better as his Celtic career went on.
Yeah, arguably, yeah.
I think this guy is
getting worse.
The levels are dropping severely,
but he's not at the level of like a Barkas or Fraser Foster or Craig Gordon. He's nowhere near those levels. Or Davy Marshall.
A Barkas?
No, not Barkas. Fuck me. What's that?
You started with Barkas now. He's no shite.
No, Barkas.
Craig Gordon.
For God's sake. What's that Polish guy that played for Celtic?
Boric?
That's the one, Barkas, for fuck's sake.
Because you said Barkas, I'm like, so he's going down the shite route here.
No.
Then you said a bunch of people that were good, and I'm like, well, done, yeah. That's...
Anyway, point is, Peter, Kasper Schmeichel, no very good. Speaking of no very good, I thought it was another shite, lacklustre performance for Callum McGregor.
Yep.
I'm sick of hearing about how this guy's great, he's loyal to Celtic. No, the thing is, no big club's ever come in for Callum McGregor. No big club has ever even tested Celtic. But you don't know that. Celtic could turn it, you do know that. Come on, look at... Have you ever even seen a transfer rumour? Regarding Callum McGregor,
Brendan Rodgers was linked like a week ago.
Aye, but I mean, I'm talking about like over the years.
No, really, no.
What? No, but come on. Oh, see, the best player.
The only time I noticed in the day was when Raskin threw the ball at his stomach. Like 4 minutes to go.
The best players leave Scotland, and if they don't leave Scotland, they get many opportunities to.
Aye.
This guy has not. He's massively overrated. And I think he's declined over the last couple of years. I think Callum McGregor's done.
You know, I think most of the Celtic team's done, to be brutally honest. And I mean, it's beautiful to watch. Honestly, the mixed emotion. I think Boyd said it best. He said, "You'll never get a game that sums up a tale of two halves in this one." Like fucking crazy. But yeah, that was the game. I guess we'll ask the question: will Wilfried Nancy be sacked?
Well, the fans are outside now chanting. They want him gone. They want the board gone. The board said they were backing him. It's a bad defeat. It's another defeat. It's a shitload of defeats now for him. It's not a hammering though. I think that once you go beyond a 2-goal difference, that's when you're in dangerous territory.
It feels like a hammering though. He was 1-0 up and he's lost the second half 3-0.
I think he survives. I think he gets one more game, one more opportunity.
How's he no offside, the Dundee United guy?
But I do believe had this ended 4 or 5-1, he'd probably be gone by now.
Well, what I would say is, I feel like before this game, it felt like he was close. I don't think he survives another defeat.
No.
Like, literally.
And even then, it's like, how many wins does he need to get until he's safe again? Like, you say that he doesn't survive another defeat. But I don't think he has to lose his next game.
Oh, aye.
I think if he wins his next game but loses the following, I think he's sacked.
Depends on context, though. Do you think if he wins the next 3 and then he loses the 4th, but losing the 4th still keeps him like within a couple of points of Hearts or Rangers, then that's alright? Or do you feel like if he loses a game to go like 3 behind Rangers?
Well, that could be the deciding factor. I think the fact that Rangers are playing catch up and Celtic had the higher ground on Rangers, that helps. Let's switch positions. Let's say that Rangers are top of the table and they have a 6 point lead over Celtic that Hearts have. I think he's gone.
Oh, I think so too. I think he's got to be going. I think that's the interesting thing here. It's all his results have just closed the gap the other way. You normally just associate managers with getting. I mean, over the years, look how many Rangers managers have been sacked. Why have they been sacked? Because the points behind Celtic. It's weird to see it flip, but then this season's thrown in the curveball of Hearts being at the top. So I think that's probably the only thing keeping them safe. But as we've seen, the only time we've seen with Celtic sacking a guy was Lennon, and he had to go like fucking 20 points behind. But then Lennon had the history. So
Yeah, Lennon had success. Lennon had loyalty in the bank. You know, Lennon was a club legend, player and manager.
Put it this way,
whether
folks.
people like him or not, Lennon was. You have to give him credit.
For everyone, no, you do. But for everyone that's not a Celtic fan,
This is fucking great.
as Tony Soprano said at the end of season 1, remember the good times because they don't last forever. And Wilfried Nancy's not got long left. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And this won't last forever because this cannot. No, this will change. Either Wilfried Nancy will turn it around and start getting results and be a great Celtic manager, or he'll get sacked. There's no two ways about it. So this will not last forever, and enjoy it while it lasts. Let's just hope it lasts long enough for Celtic not to win the league this season. But things will change. Whether it's with whether it's with Nancy in charge or not Nancy.
The ideal situation is it lasts long enough for Celtic to spunk their budget on players that won't be able to play the new guys system.
Instead of deal or no deal, it's going to be nonce or no nonce.
Aye.
And I think he's dangerously close to getting no nonce.
Is he going to take the bankers up pay?
We'll see. I mean, this guy's probably. I mean, worst case scenario, he gets sacked and he pockets a decent amount of money and he go back to the MLS and. I mean, people talk. This guy had a massive reputation. See, when he came in, in America, they were fucking making it as if this guy was like, oh, best manager in the league. Oh, his tactics, he's going to thrive at Celtic.
You know what, though? Not the
Some guy I remember some guy phoned up and predicted him to win the Champions League within 7 years.
They did. No, it's crazy, though. He's a Celtic.
Maybe the Scottish Championship.
He's a Celtic manager. I want the guy to fail. I think it's fantastic. But there is a part of me that looks at it, it's like, God, he's just in the wrong movie here, and he is sinking. And I've seen it with managers in the past, like where they lie. I mean, and they know they're lying. I think this guy actually genuinely believes that he's getting somewhere, and he's in quicksand, and he's going fucking nowhere.
Every match is like 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yep.
And I do feel a bit bad for him because at half time Celtic are winning. It's a good performance. They've destroyed Rangers. It's from some standpoint going forward, but then the second half they just give up easy goals and they don't have the same sort of attacking levels as they had. It's strange.
Like I said, though, the way they play, they can't control a game of football. Felt it even in the games they've won. They couldn't control. The Livy game never felt like it was over. Because it's just end to end. It's bonkers football, and when you play like that, see end to end football in teams that don't control games, they don't win shit. They don't. That's reserved for the likes of like the Brentfords, the Brightons of this world. Ah, yeah, good clubs, right? Decent Premier League clubs, but that's seeing the MLS. That's why no team dominates, because they all just play end to end stuff.
And they'll just beat each other.
Aye. It's not. I'm not shocked it's not worked. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Fans react. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to the Sharks. Looking forward to everything. Not looking most forward to though. Big Hugh Keevins.
Oh
Bring
yeah.
his bottle of red.
Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.
It truly was fantastic, folks. Hopefully you've enjoyed this 2 or 20 odd minute extravaganza here of Wilfried Nancy's time at Celtic. All 8 games reviewed. A wee bit of a retrospective, so to speak, and I think we'll do this more over the course of the season. I think we'll do it with Celtic, Rangers and Hearts, maybe their defeats or whatever, put all the match reviews in the video compilation. Here, we'll do it with Russell Martin as well. Yes, why not? And whatever other suggestions anyone else wants to do. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time. Peace.